Scotland's a wild and lovely place.
But there's a change we must embrace.
Scotland's water's world class.
No doubt.
So, take a refillable bottle.
When you go out.
It's your water, your life.
Top up from the tap with Scottish Water.
Fresh, cool, clear.
And only available right here.
Can you ask them to do times on meat prop? On the radio.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the Royal Commonwealth Pool here in Edinburgh. We are here, session 5 of the Scottish National Short Course Open Swimming Championships. Saturday afternoon. What else do you want to be doing on a blustery, stormy Saturday afternoon? But listen to myself, Paul Noble, and Duncan McKinnell bringing you session 5 from the Commonwealth Pool.
Good afternoon, Paul. It's great to be back. We had a fun session this morning.
We did, yes, some fast swims this morning, and we've got a repeat of the session of the events that we saw in this morning's session. So again, the swimmers trying to improve their entry times and trying to maybe force their way into one of the finals this evening, Duncan.
Yeah, let's hope so, because we saw a few yesterday getting themselves into an evening swim from the afternoon session. So let's hope that one of or more of these swimmers in those events that are up on your screen will do that today. So for the 200s and 400s, it is 2 finals, A and B finals, but for the 50s and 100s there's a C final as well, so that gives you an even better chance of getting the time. We'll try and keep you posted as the afternoon goes of the time that they've got to get. And then we finish off with the 1500 freestyle for male and open, so we're going to have some quality swims in that one at the end of the afternoon. Very much the choice of the discerning viewer, the 1500 freestyle.
I do like a 1500 freestyle, it's good. I'll hopefully get a close race on these 1500 freestyle heats. We've also got the fastest heat of the 1500 freestyle, so no qualifying for the 1500, so the fastest heat will go tonight in the finals session. So, well, the aim for the swimmers in this first event is to try and aim for that entry time. It's another packed gallery here. There's some of the spectators there, some of the teams over on the left side of the picture there, so that's why there's a few empty seats. Not many empty seats in the crowd though, Duncan.
No, in fact there's standing room only. You can see up at the top of the seats there, everyone's standing at the walkway at the top because it is busy this afternoon. I was in the cafe earlier on queuing for about, it felt like 2 hours.
You just made it, I was getting worried about you.
Yeah, but the coffee is here. I hope you've got a coffee as well and ready to go. That's your lineup for the first heat. I could tell you that you need to get down to 2:23 to get a second swim, and that's going to be quite a big ask for these guys. But the lineup in this first heat will be Gabriella Winton of Montefiore in lane 1, Alicia Bezzoli-Soler from the University of Stirling in 2, Abby Coventry, the 13-year-old from Morpeth in lane 3, Gina Wren, City of Glasgow in lane 4, Chloe Brotherton of South Tyneside in 5, Maddie Hall of Warrender in 6, Faye Rogers, par excellence from University of Aberdeen in lane 7, and Lucy Hunter, South Lanarkshire in 8. Both Faye and Lucy had busy mornings, so they're back pretty quickly here in the pool this afternoon. So the entry times here, 2:30s and 2:31s. Gina Wren in lane 4 has the fastest entry time, but only by 800s, 2:30.56 her time. Great start in lane 2. That's Alicia Bezzoli-Soler. So she is the one who is taking this one out early on. Of course, things can change from stroke to stroke. Also going well in lane 7 is, well, no surprise, the Paralympic champion on a 100 fly, Faye Rogers, and she turns first, 31.31. Now you'll know all about Faye and her ability on 200 IM.
Medalist at the World Championships last year, Faye Rogers, so she's one of her favourite events is the 200 individual medley. The butterfly definitely her number 1 event, of course, but she's no slouch at the 200 IM, Faye Rogers. You should see the impairment she has in her right arm there. That was a result of an accident. She was a very promising Olympic hopeful for Tokyo, but she had an accident prior to the Olympic trials, and well, she's converted into para swimming, and she's been hugely successful, Faye Rogers. It's an arm impairment, as I said, for Faye Rogers, so legs are pretty strong, so she's a decent breaststroker, and she's there or thereabouts as they come down towards the halfway point on this breaststroke now. Maybe up the top, it's as we look at the lanes, lane 1 at the top, lane 8 at the bottom, the 2 yellow marked lanes are 4 and 5, so that that's your vantage point here. But right up at the top, going well, Gabrielle Winton is maybe leading them in. Abby Coventry as well in lane 3, but well, you wouldn't really count anyone out of this one, Duncan. Very close indeed.
Yeah, 50 freestyle to go, and it is Gabriella and Abby just 4/10 apart up there in lanes 1 and 3. Abby Coventry, the 13-year-old from Morpeth, is a Scot. She's a member of the Scottish Youth Academy, and she's been quite a regular appearer at Scottish events, as elder sister who we saw this morning, but it is Abby who's maybe looking the strongest, pushing on Lucy Hunter, who saw an excellent 400 free from her this morning, and she's using that freestyle to come up for second place. But it's Abby who takes the win, 2:29.14, inside her entry time by over a second and a half. It looked like it was Lucy Hunter in second place. We'll get confirmation of that result on your screen any moment now, says he, hopefully. Maybe I sort of hearing in the background there might be some chat, so hopefully there's not a disqualification in this first heat of the afternoon, but they are holding the result back here, so that is a little bit of a cause for concern. They've had not just one but two disqualifications, so lanes 1 and 2, Gabriella Winton, Alicia Bezzoli-Soler, unfortunately both of them disqualified for technical infractions.
Good time from Faye Rogers, so inside her entry time. So let's have a little check back on the record books for Faye Rogers. 2:30.86. Well, that 200 IM. We move into the second heat.
So you talk about this and I'll go and refer to the record books. I can tell you that 2:28.53 is her record. So
pretty decent time there for Faye Rogers, though not too far away as the second heat gets underway. Marley Bolt from City of Sunderland, Tantena Pingyena from Borough of Stockton, Grace Brown from Newcastle next to her teammate Charlotte Soulsby. In lane 5 is Ellen Dooley. Zara Holt from Tadcaster goes in 6, and Tony Jameson in the outside lane, University of Aberdeen Performance, no one in 7. But big representation here from the northeast of England, City of Sunderland, Borough of Stockton, 2 from Newcastle, 1 from Tadcaster. Is that classified as the northeast of England, Duncan?
York, I think so.
York, yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
They swim in northeast regionals, so
UCDF, I think that's one of the Irish swimmers.
yeah, University College Dublin.
So the only Scottish team in this one represented, Tony Jameson, and she's doing a pretty good job in third place at the halfway point. Grace Brown and Charlotte Soulsby are the ones who lead them through. Newcastle 1 and 2. We saw that a couple of times this morning.
Yes, it's such a strong showing from the northeast clubs here this weekend, and that's happening again here with Grace Brown, and beside her teammate Charlotte Soulsby, pretty much stroke for stroke. Also up there is Ellen Dooley, the Irish swimmer. So let's just see how she gets on here. It's all pretty tight, as it was in the first heat as we go into the freestyle, but it is Charlotte who has the advantage, 1:53.22. It's just over a second faster than the first heat, and just over a second faster than Ellen Dooley in second place. And that was a lovely transition from breast to freestyle there. It really opened the gap for her.
Into that final turn now, and it's very close for second, but Charlotte Soulsby again using that power off the wall to come away clear of Ellen Dooley, who's just about holding on to second place in lane number 5, but Soulsby in to the wall. 2:26.98. Again, a little bit of an issue with the scoreboard here in the venue, so we might not get the results straight away, but 2:26.98 looked like that was a time that she hit the wall. There we go, 2:26.98 confirmed. Tony Jameson, in fact, getting through for second, and Ellen Dooley in third. So the only Scottish club in the heat doing a good job in second.
Yep, nice 3-second improvement for Charlotte as well. The 14-year-olds, so the youngsters going very nicely here. So on to heat number 3, and the lineup in this heat. We have Nadine Wilson, Borough of Stockton in 1, Niamh Blackett of Newcastle in 2, Gemma Brown of Carnegie in 3, Lucy Raper of Morpeth in 4, Lucy Hall of East Lothian in 5, Gwendolyn Mearns of Tynedale in 6, Matilda Smith, City of Sunderland in 7, and Macy Carty of Fauldhouse Penguins in lane 8. Macy's off to a great start in lane 8, National Age Group and Eastern Age Group finalist, and certainly she's going to be leading them at the end of the fly from the outside lane. Oh, no, she's not. It's the other outside lane. In fact, Nadine Wilson, 31.43, just 700ths ahead of Macy. So up there in the white cap at the top of your screen, as you see them all coming away from the camera here. Get a nice shot from pool level, but you can see there it is Nadine, the 16-year-old from the borough of Stockton, who is now, well, has she got the lead? It's difficult to tell from that angle, but Matilda Smith also coming up nicely in lane 7. Who's going to come in first? It's pretty close, but I think it is just Nadine still. It is 1:08.55, up by half a second and a little bit faster than the previous heat. So into the breaststroke. Things all change quite often in the breaststroke, so let's see what happens here.
Yeah, they're all kind of bunching up now on the breaststroke. Still Nadine, I think, just with the edge right at the top. Not much in it at all. Macy Carty's come back into it again, challenging for that lead. And a good turn there from Macy Carty, and she's taking Matilda Smith through with her as well. Gwendolyn Mearns with that green cap. She's going along very nicely. Look at this. I'm almost 7 swimmers all in a row here, right across the pool. Nadine Wilson, is she ahead? No, Macy Carty it is by 1/100. Wow. Where is this one going to go? Nadine Wilson in second, Matilda Smith in third place. Nadine got a very good turn there. That's maybe taking her ahead, but who is leading now? Well, is it Matilda Smith with that red cap? Maybe just, but all to play for still. Matilda Smith working really hard. Look at the legs go for Matilda Smith in lane number 7. Entry time of 2:29.49. She's going to improve on that. 2:28.51, almost a whole second improvement from Matilda Smith. And look at the split there for that final 50, 33.29. That's where she took half a second away from the rest of the field.
Yes, she was fantastic through that final turn on the freestyle. She really powered off the wall, and she went in pretty much alongside everybody else and came out about a metre ahead. So terrific stuff there from Matilda to take heat number 3. On to heat 4, we have Megan Cairns of Aquajets in lane 1. 2 is Zoe Crawford of First, the Falkirk-based team. Louise Connell, the City of Glasgow in 3. Matilda Hendon of Tadcaster in 4. Alice Ward, Borough of Stockton in 5. Olivia Caldwell, City of Glasgow in 6. Another Tadcaster swimmer, Amelia Barrett, goes in 7. And Lexi Lamont from Aberdeen in lane 8. 2:27 to 2:28, the range of times here. One more heat after this one, so these swimmers will be looking to put on a show for us. Again, there's not a lot in it. Again, we're seeing a good swim from lane 8, right in the mix, but it's Louise Connell in lane 3, first to the wall at the end of the fly, 30.84, up by a tenth from Zoe Crawford. So Glasgow versus Falkirk at the front at the 50, but others still very much there. Lexi Lamont certainly in the mix down at the bottom of your screen, in the white cap of Aberdeen, and she's having a really nice backstroke.
It's almost like lucky lane 8 with these heats so far. Lane 8's been featuring in the mix in all of them so far. And Lexi Lamont really right there alongside Zoe Crawford, who just leads by 0.3 of a second over there in lane number 2. Let's see if the breaststrokers can make a move here. Lexi Lamont doing good here, but coming through in lane 4 might be Matilda Hendon, possibly, maybe challenging for the lead. Zoe Crawford is in there. Lexi Lamont is going to have that one, I think, but let's see where they're all sitting when they get to the end of this breaststroke. 4 swimmers all kind of lining up there at the top of the picture. Matilda Hendon, Louise Connell, Zoe Crawford, Megan Cairns. Hendon swam a good breaststroke. We'll watch out for the split for her. Is she going to be ahead? Oh, it is Hendon, just 3/100ths of a second, but look at that, 42.38, the fastest of anyone in the water. Lexi Lamont now onto the freestyle, and it looks like it might be a little tussle between these two as they come through this last turn. Louise Connell trying to come back again. Matilda Hendon certainly had the better of that breaststroke. Is she going to hold on? Looks like she might just do that. A good second half from Matilda Hendon. Might just take this one. Our entry time 2:27.65, 2:27.19, 2:27.85 it was in fact, 2:27.19 though, an improvement on that entry time. It was Zoe Crawford, I think. Oh no, not Zoe Crawford, sorry. Lexi Lamont came through. Get my lanes and positions mixed up there. Lexi Lamont 2:27.47, another good swim from her, and Louise Connell came back into the picture at the end.
One more heat to go then, and the line-up: Lisa McNair in lane 1 for Sterling Swimming. 2 is Abigail Crawford, City of Glasgow. Katie Coventry, so we saw her younger sister earlier, and she goes for Morpeth in lane 3. Caris Mooney, City of Glasgow in 4. Ellen Denny of Geary in 5. Ella Cunningham, City of Glasgow in 6. Caitlin Frame of First in 7. And Izzy Munnock of Morpeth in lane 8. So 2:26s and 2:27s the range of times. As I mentioned, we need to get down to 2:23 to feature tonight. That is quite a big ask. Caitlin Frame having a good start in lane 7. They swim out from first, 6th in national age groups, and she will lead them into the backstroke, 31.15. Not quite as fast as the previous heat, but she leads by about a quarter of a second on Ellen Denny in lane 5. And then it looks like up at the top, Lisa McNair for Sterling Swimming, and she's right in the mix now, halfway through the backstroke. The great thing about these heats in the afternoon, that every heat is really competitive, so every opportunity to just race hard.
Yeah, there's no cyclically seeded heats. They're all all the times are in the group together. So I mean the difference between first and 8th qualification time is just less than a second actually. There's 0.92 between all the 8 swimmers in this one in terms of entry time. So yeah, that's a good thing about these afternoon heats. Could go absolutely anywhere. We've seen lane 8 feature in a number of the shake-ups in the first 4 heats, and well, lane 7 this time looks like they are controlling this one from the front, and that's Caitlin Frame. Let's see if she can improve on that 2:27.43. As you said, Duncan, though, it's going to be a tough ask to get down to that 2:23.
But she'll give it a go, 1:52.14, so that was a nice breaststroke from her. But Katie Coventry, a very strong breaststroker, she's came up well in that breaststroke from lane 3, so we'll keep an eye on her in the familiar cap of Morpeth with the red with the big white band down the middle, but I don't think anyone's going to catch Caitlin. She has led this right the way through, sometimes by not much, sometimes by quite a bit, and she's going to take it by quite a bit. She's around 2-3 meters up, 2:25.65, so that's an excellent swim, well inside her entry time of 2:27. So nicely done, Caitlin. Takes the win in the final heat from Caris Mooney, just touching out Ellen Denny, 2nd and 3rd, 2:27.11 and 2:27.17. So some good competitive 200 IMs there.
Yeah, well done, Caitlin. That's an excellent one, wasn't it? 2:25. Cannot complain at that for an afternoon's work.
No, you cannot.
Still on the 200s this time. It's the male and open, and it's a freestyle event as well. Have we got everyone in this first heat? I think we have. 8 swimmers taking the start for this one. Guilano Lastroni from Sterling Swim in 1. Patrick Walsh, University of Stirling in 2. Panos Angelakis from East Lothian in 3. Taylor Sinclair from Elgin in 4. Fergus Woodward, Portobello in 5. Connor Stewart, Sterling Swim in 6. Ethan Williams from Newcastle in 7, and Aquajets Newcastle Robert Christian goes in lane number 8. Well, Patrick Walsh off to a decent start. All these swimmers, well, Robert Christian has got 2:01.00. Everyone else on the 2-minute mark love to dip under that 2 minutes. That's a barrier, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and I'm sure that's what they'll all be eyeing here. Let's see, we'll get an idea of what their first 100 split is, whether they've got a chance. It's all very competitive, as you might expect, but 56 threes, that's got a chance, you would think. They need to come back in a 63 to get under the 2 minutes. So, well, let's see, because they're pacing under the 30 there. So if they can hold that pace, they'll be comfortably under 2 minutes. But, well, saying that and doing it are different things. So let's see what they can do. Lane 7, Ethan Williams of Newcastle, having a really good third 50, and he leads them through. And that was, oh, look at that, under 29 for him. Surely he's going to go under the 2 minutes. And you fancy maybe all that top 4 doing that.
Yeah, it'd be great to see if they can just step under that 2 minute barrier. Well, Ethan Williams, he has gone. He's left them all in his wake. Fantastic last half here for Ethan Williams. His entry time 2 minutes .84, and look at this time. Wow, what a swim this is. And Ethan Williams 156.13. Lastroni also under the 2 minute mark. In fact, the first 6 under the 2 minute mark. Wow, great stuff.
Yeah, and not just under it, yeah, all of those under 159. So, yeah, just forget about 159. Let's just go from 200 to 158. Why not? So on to heat number 2. Let's see what these guys can do, because some of these swimmers also just over the 2 minutes in entry times. The line up, just looking down the line, they're all there. Aidan Bruce of Aberdeen in 1, Taylor Hutton of Carnegie in 2, Corey Phillip of Perth City in 3, Aaron Drake of Warrender in 4, Jamie McCormick of Chesterley Street in 5, then 2 from Perth City, Callum Mackenzie in 6, Finlay Bruce in 7, and a second Carnegie swimmer, Tyler Spalding, goes in lane 8. So, as I said, edge time 159.8 up to 200.58. Not too much to separate them coming down the first 50. Is it going to be lane 5, Jamie McCormack first to the touch? Yes, it is. 26.93, so a good strong start from him. 4/10 up on Callum Mackenzie in the red of Perth in lane 6. Going well as well in lane 1, Aberdeen's Aidan Bruce. I think he's turning 3rd or thereabouts anyway. Corey Phillip, Aaron Drake all pretty close as well. In fact, well, not a lot in it between any of them here as we come up to halfway. Who gets the touch this time? Lane 3, I think. Corey Phillip, Perth City swimmer, just recently made the move from Dundee to Perth. He's now swimming with Strathallan, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, Duncan Scott's, where he learnt his trade.
Yeah, he hasn't done badly for himself.
No, he's all right. Oh, there's 200 free. I think he's okay.
Yeah. Let's see what Corey can do here as we go through the final 50. 30.72. He's just about there or thereabouts. Should be able to bring it back under the 2 minute, I think. Callum Mackenzie in second. Aidan winning the tussle between the two Bruces. In lane 1, Aidan Bruce right up at the top here. It's a real contest between Callum Mackenzie and Finlay Bruce here on the near side in 6 and 7. It might be Finlay Bruce might take this one. What a fast finish there, a fast 50. 28.56, and he's well under that 2 minute mark. Again, 5 swimmers dipping under the 2 minute mark, and again, such a swift last 50 there from Finlay Bruce to take it. I think he came from 4th through into 1st place.
And a Perth 1, 2, 3 there.
Oh.
So that will make the Perth team under Ann Dixon pretty happy with life. Congratulations to Perth at 157.19, the winning time there. Still though, that Ethan Williams time 156.13, the fastest we've seen. So on we go to heat number 3. Christian Matheson of Newcastle in 1. Taylor Horseman in 2 for Tadcaster. Carl Muirhead of West Lothian in 3. Ewan Jones, University of Stirling in 4. Tom Armitage of Highland in 5. Torrin Liversedge of Bankery in 6. Samuel Whitehorn of Midlothian in 7. And Oscar Churnside of Geary in lane 8. So edge times here are all under the 2 minutes, 159s. 159.0 to 159.7. So again, just 7/10 the spread between them all, 26.51. So a good solid start from Samuel Whitehorn, the Midlothian swimmer, so just south of here. He's leading the way early on.
Yeah, he's maybe just almost clear water between him and the rest of the field. Maybe lane number 5, the Highland swimmer Tom Armitage. In fact, lane number 4 actually, Ewan Jones from University of Stirling it is. Who's just maybe challenging for that lead, but Whitehorn still has the lead. 55.45. I think that's the fastest split we have seen so far as the heats progressively get faster. Again, these swimmers will be hoping for big improvements, and Whitehorn really going well here in lane number 7, being chased by Ewan Jones in lane number 4. Jones might be able to see him, he's breathing to that side. It's across 3 lanes though, so maybe not aware of Whitehorn with the lead that he has, but he might be able just to catch him, maybe a splash out the corner of his eye as he comes down. But here they come into this final turn here. It's going to be another good time, I think. It's going to be well faster, I reckon, than the 1:59. And it is Samuel Whitehorn, chased by Ewan Jones. It's going to be Whitehorn who's going to hold on to this one. Look at this time. My goodness, 1:54.36. 5 seconds faster than the entry time. That is excellent stuff there. Ewan Jones in second in the centre of the pool, and Oscar Churnside, who's probably benefited from Whitehorn being right next to him for 3rd place there from lane number 8.
Yeah, that was a fantastic swim from Sam Whitehorn there. Midlothian going very well. We've seen some great swims from Toby Bullock yesterday, and now Samuel Whitehorn really taking it on there. On to heat number 4. We have Dylan Mitchell for Warrender in lane 1. Rhys Edwards of Dumfries in 2. Alexander Bell, City of Glasgow in 3. James Lauder of Hearts in 4. Ross Anderton of East Lothian in 5. Jacob Brown of Tadcaster in 6. Ewan Weir of Perth City in 7. And Mano Drysdale of Warrender in lane 8. So Warrender in the 2 outside lanes. But let's see how this one works out. The entry time says 1:57s and 1:58s. Just to mark your card, you have to get under 1:50 to get a second swim. So again, that is a tough ask. And it's lane 6, Jacob Brown, who is taking this one out. A good solid start from him, 25.62, and that is faster than anything we've seen. So he is making an early statement here, up by a second from Dylan Mitchell up at the top of your screen, and then pushing on well Alexander Bell in lane 3, but others as well in the frame. Ross Anderton in lane 5, one of them, and James Lauder as well in lane 4, but well, clear water pretty much for Jacob in lane 6 through halfway, 54.44, a second faster than Samuel Whitehorn in the previous heat, so this is really good stuff there, 28.8. Bell, pretty fast 50 there as well, 28.7, and maybe he is coming up in lane 3, see if he can mount a second half comeback. Still in the mix as well, Ross Anderton in lane 5, that's your top 3 as we approach 150 metres, but the early leader Jacob Brown just about holding on to that lead, but it's narrow. It's only a 10th now. Can he hold it in the final 50?
Oh, it's very, very narrow indeed. Look at that, 29.58 for Alexander Bell. He is the man who had the speed there. Also coming back, Ross Anderton in lane number 5 as well. But it does look like Bell might take this one, but Ross Anderton coming really fast in lane number 5. Is he going to catch Alexander Bell? I think Bell might just have timed that one correctly. 29.90 in that final 50, and he just holds on the fast ahead of the fast finishing Ross Anderton. Jacob Brown, well, got his reward for that fast start there, 1:56.38. That's an improvement for him. So top 3 much faster than the entry times, and another good swim here. Let's see what heat number 5 could do. We've got 6 heats of this one. Of course, we had 5 heats in the heat session this morning, 6 heats for some of the events this afternoon, and you'll see the starting lineup. Matthew Scott from Newcastle in 1, Conor Aspinall from East Lothian in 2, Jacob Barnett, City of Sunderland in 3, Finlay Sang and Alfie Churches, City of Glasgow, they go in 4 and 5, the yellow marked lanes. Lachlan Small from Stirling Swim in 6, John Taylor from University of Aberdeen Performance in 7, and Nicholas Land from Newcastle in lane number 8. Finlay Sang first to the wall at the halfway point. Conor Aspinall not far behind at all, 6/100s. Up there in lane number 2, Alfie Churches and Lachlan Small.
Lachlan Small's been on fire this weekend, so
yeah, I was going to say, it was one of the last events of this morning's session, wasn't it? We saw Lachlan.
Yeah, he's been very, very good every time he's hit the water, so the fact that he's right up there in the mix, you'd maybe fancy his chances in the second half here, but it's 55-2-3 for Finlay at the halfway mark. Lachlan Small second, Conor Aspinall third. So those are your 3 leaders. There's a couple of others in the mix as well. Alfie Churches in lane 5 is one of them, and also lane 7, John Taylor. But at the front, it looks like it's lanes 3 and 6, Jacob Barnett and Lachlan Small. Well, no, Finlay Sang, in fact, I'm getting my lanes mixed up. 125 dead for Finlay, just a 10th faster than the previous heat, but another thriller here. 4 swimmers in a line. Who's going to get this one? Who's going to take this home? We saw that great sprint finish in the last heat. Ross Anderson not quite able to get it done. This time it might be lane 3. Jacob Barnett is going to finish the job, and he comes in. Really nice finish from him as well. 154.63 right on the tip of his arm as he came in, and he got it by 4/10 from Alfie Churches, with Finlay Sang a couple of tenths back in third place. 154.63 then.
Well, you did call him with 50 to go, Jacob Barnett. That was a good prediction.
I think that was more accidental. But, yeah, I knew he had it in him.
Yeah, exactly. Last of the 6 heats, James Kilpatrick from Carnegie, Nikolai Cisnet, youngest in the field at 14. He goes in lane 2. Liam Dawson, University of Stirling in 3. Daniel Payton, Tynemouth in 4. James Body from Geary in 5. Tom Jeffords, round 96 in 6. Ben McLaughlin from Geary in 7. And Magnus Morris from Stirling Swim in lane number 8. Lane 3 again, Liam Dawson having a very good start to this one. It's that loping style that we see kind of employed by a number of the major swimmers, the likes of Duncan Scott, for example. But yeah, it just looks very, very comfortable in the closing stages, in the opening stages even. Hopefully he's going to look as comfortable as he comes down to the halfway point. Well, Liam Dawson certainly starting off really well here. Let's have a look at the split. 53.02. James Body in second. Oh, almost 2 seconds back. Nikolai Cisnet going well, 1 lane up from the leader.
Well, if he can hold this pace, he's got a chance of a second swim here, but 53.0 is by far the fastest halfway split that we've seen. They need to get under the 150. 149.64 at the moment is 16th spot. Well, maybe he's just finding it a bit tough in the second half now, Liam. That was a 29.9, so not quite holding his pace from the first half. And James Body now is not far behind him in lane 5. So these are the 2 leading out. There's about a metre between them as they turn for the final time. It's going to be between the 2 of them, with a tight contest for third as well, between Nikolai Cisnet, the youngster, and lane 6, Tom Jeffers. But who's going to get the touch here? I think it will be Liam Dawson holding on for the win. 152.06. A very nice swim. Really pushed it hard in the first half. Has found it a bit tough in the second half, but held on to take the win. Was a nice improvement of 3 seconds on his entry time, so really can't complain with that. And he will be the fastest from this afternoon, with James Body behind him. 152.48. Nikolai Cisnet in a 154.74 for the youngster. He improves by over a second on his time, so that was a very strong swim from the 14-year-old.
Yeah, it was very good from Liam Dawson. Went out hard there, was just hold on to that technique in the closing stages a little bit more difficult, but Yeah, 152. You cannot complain about that one. Excellent swim from Liam Dawson. And straight on to the next event, which is the female 100 metres butterfly. We were due to have 5 swimmers. We only got 4 taking the start now. Molly Scott from Derwentside and Gateshead in 2. Eva Gordon from City of Glasgow in lane number 3. No one in 4. Katie Aitchison for Warren de Bath, it goes in 5. And Charlotte Soulsby from Newcastle goes in lane number 6. So 2 13-year-olds in this one. That's Eva Gordon and Katie Aitchison either side of that empty lane in the middle. 14-year-old Charlotte Soulsby closest to us from Newcastle, and 16-year-old Derwentside and Gateshead swimmer Molly Scott right at the top. So looks like it is Eva Gordon. We might just have enough here. Entry time of 108.10 for Eva. Coming back strongly though, Charlotte Soulsby in 6. All on the touch. Who's going to time this one correctly? Eva Gordon does it. And both her and Charlotte Soulsby under the 1:08 mark. Molly Scott bang on her entry time, 108.2.
Yeah, another good swim from Charlotte Soulsby there. She had a good swim in the 200 IM. Back quickly into the water for that 100 fly. Just taking a little time to give us a confirmed result here, but now you've got it. And no issues. It is Eva from Charlotte from Molly, year 1, 2, 3. So the second heat is called to the blocks. They line up there. Ella Wood of Forfar in 1, Amy Dobson of Kingston in 2, Millie Northrop of Borough of Barnsley in 3, Millie Barton of Bells Hill in 4, India Leonie Bryden of Dundee City Aquatics in 5, Holly Bodiner of Chesterley Street in 6, Sophie Steele of South Ayrshire in 7, and Charlotte Craig of Wren 96 in lane 8. Entry times here 1:07s to 1:080. So again, there's just 3/10 on paper between these 8 swimmers. Coming down the second length, lane 6 I think just edging it. Holly Bodiner, the 17-year-old from Chesterley Street. See if she can finish the job here. She comes through in 30.61, around 3/10 faster than the previous heat, and 3/10 ahead of Ella Wood up there in lane 1. Also, well, a number of swimmers coming through. India Leonie Bryden in that purple cap of Dundee is up there. So in lane 7, Sophie Steele of South Ayrshire, and in between them is the early leader, Holly Bodner. Is it going to be India Leonie? I think it might be in lane 5, and she does take it in 1:06.44. And again, a nice improvement of over a second on her entry time. And this progression is what you're looking for in these swimmers, just to show the fruits of, I'm sure, what has been hard training through the autumn months. And India Leonie taking the win, Sophie Steele second, and Millie Barton in third.
Yeah, heat number 3 up now. Freya Keeling from Carnegie, Heidi Carr from Newcastle, Gemma Brown, second Carnegie swimmer, goes in 3. Erin Jones, Newcastle, second Newcastle swimmer, goes in 4. Phoebe Arbuckle from Warren de Bath in 5. Amy Rowell, City of Glasgow, in 6. Amelia Leslie, Stockport Metro in 7. Ruby Robinson from Tadcaster goes in lane number 8. So again, this near side going well. Ruby Robinson, Amelia Leslie. Right down at the bottom, are they going to lead it? Up the top, Freya Keeling also going pretty well. Who's going to get the touch halfway? It is Freya Keeling. Just 31.03 for her. 4 100s ahead of Ruby Robinson. So the two bookends either side of the pool are leading them through. Can the swimmers in the centre start to come back now? Amy Rowell was in 3rd. She might have just hit the front here. Amy Rowell from City of Glasgow, one of the younger swimmers in this one. Freya Keeling and Amy Rowell, the two 14-year-olds. Might be 1 and 2 for the two youngsters here into the finish, and it is Freya Keeling and Amy Rowell. It is the two 14-year-olds, and both of them with improved times, 106.43 and 106.56. That's just faster than that previous heat, only by 100th.
So, of course, remember that there is a C final in this 100 butterfly, so to make it into the C final, you've got to get under 105, so we're only a second and a half away on that heat, still 2 heats to go. So we've got a chance here, I think. Bethan Lillistone goes in lane 1 for Whitney in heat 4. Rosie Liston, City of Glasgow in 2. 3 is Morven Adams, Dundee City Aquatics. 4, Emma Creaney of University of Aberdeen. 5 is Katie Noble of Newcastle. Natalie Moody of West Lothian in 6. Ciara Pemble of Best in 7. Caitlin Frame of First in lane 8. Well, we saw a good swim from Katie Noble in the 200 IM earlier. So what can she do here? Strong start though from the border swimmer Ciara Pemble, based in Berwickshire, Eyemouth. And in fact she's, I think, wearing her Eyemouth club cap there, the bright orange. And she is clearly in the lead here. 29.93, a great start from Ciara. Leads by 8/10 or so from Morven Adams in lane 3. We'll see whether Morven can close that gap in the second half. She's making a bit of ground. I'm not sure she is. Also going well in lane 6, Natalie Moody of West Lothian, but it is the border swimmer who has taken this one right from the off, and very aggressive stroking down this final length. Let's just see what this time is going to be. This is going to be an excellent time from Ciara. 104.82. That gets her into the C final, depending on what happens in the last heat. But at the moment, that puts her in 24th place. So can she hang on to that?
Whoa, 104.82. It was a great swim, wasn't it? Took it out, did what she had to do in the early stages under the 30-second mark. So Ciara Pemble, what a swim, 104.82. Morven Adams in the 105 range as well. 2 great swims at the front of the field, and there's the lineup for the 5th heat. So
Yes,
the new target.
Yep, I was talking to Ciara's dad when I was getting her coffee at lunchtime.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I think he was quite excited about how his daughter was going to perform, and well, with justification. Also is her coach. So the final heat then, can they beat that 104.82? Force themselves into a second swim. Louise Connell, Rebecca Smith, Abigail Crawford, Millie Mainwaring, who's been on fine form this weekend, Alexandra Miller, Ellen Denny, Catherine Poddy and Ksenia Mann. So keep your eyes on lane 4 here. Millie Mainwaring in her first season at City of Glasgow, having moved to University in Glasgow from West Lothian, and a 29.80 is slightly faster than Ciara Pemble's halfway split, so this is going to be tight, I think. That she is pushing on hard. The other swimmer's quite a long way back, so it's Millie Mainwaring through into the final 25. She's got this heat, but it's all about the time now, so remember she's got to beat 104.82. Second place looks to be lane 6. That is Ellen Denny of Geary. But what's Millie Mainwaring's time going to be? It's a good one, 103.98, and that puts her comfortably into the C final. Unfortunately for Ciara Pemble, it pushes her out to first reserve. But well, you've got 24 swimmers. One of them might go, and that would give Ciara the chance. But Millie Mainwaring, she has earned her place by right. I think that will put her second fastest for the C final. So excellent swim from the City of Glasgow swimmer. So we've made it. We've got swimmers swimming tonight, so that's excellent stuff. Love to see that.
Yeah, 2 great swims there of those final 2 heats. Well, Ciara Pemble and Millie Mainwaring, and at least one of them will take their place in that another final tonight. So another swim earned for swimmers from these heats this afternoon. So it can be done. Wonder if we're going to see any more. 100 breaststroke for men are on their way for heat number 1. 6 heats of this one. We have Alan Vidal from University of Stirling in 2, Harrison Wright for Abingdon Vale in 3, James Aberdeen from Bankery in 4, Magnus Bullough from Shetland in lane number 5, Rory McCallum from Mulgarian Bearsden in 6, and Marcus Blake from City of Glasgow in lane number 7. So Entry times for all of these swimmers in the 109 range, ranging from 109.60 to 109.99. So again, no surprise to see a close contest here. Alain Vado, University of Stirling, though, will lead them through as he goes through the 75-metre range. I don't think the swimmers in the middle are going to be able to catch him. He's going very, very well now, coming under the flags into the red zone. The final stages now. Oh, he was tired at the end, but he just leapt for the wall there, and 107.54 is an excellent time for Alain Vado. Rory McCallum coming through for second, 108.41 and 108.55. So top three, as I said, the entry times was 109, top three inside that, so great stuff, great first heat.
So again, just to mark your card, we're looking at 65s for a second swim in this one. So we'll see how that goes as we go through the heats. This is heat 2, and we have Ewan Gray from University of Aberdeen in 1, Logan Wilburton of Preston in 2, Luca Hall, Barrow Stockton in 3, Luke McCall in lane 4 for Warrender, Noor Ahmed of Ren 96 in 5, Fraser van der Merlen of Stirling Swimming in 6, Taylor Sinclair of Elgin in 7, and Harrison Holmes of University of Stirling off to a pretty good start in lane 8. So it is lanes 5 and 8. Ren's Noor Ahmed and University of Stirling's Harrison Holmes, who gets the touch at the halfway mark. It's Noor, 30.71, 7 tenths faster than the previous heat. For Noor, entered on a 69.47. So that's a good strong start against that entry time, and he's looking like he's going to completely dominate this one. Much closer for second. It is still Harrison in lane 8 over ahead of the swimmers on the other side of the pool, but well, I don't think anyone's going to catch Noor here in lane 5. Looking really strong here. Nice controlled stroke as he comes in. Needs to just finish it nicely, and he does in a 105.72. So he's not that far away. Only half of a second away from what he needed for a second swim, and that is a brilliant over 3.5 second improvement on his entry time for Noor. Harrison Holmes does take second pretty comfortably, holding on to that.
Yeah, that was excellent, wasn't it? 105.72, my goodness. Well, some of the names in this next heat, we've seen them already this morning. Thomas Power from Weir Valley goes in 1, Rory Vick from Warren-de-Bass in 2, Finlay Bennett from South Lanarkshire in 3, Samuel Whitehorn from Midlothian in 4, Adam Thompson, South Ayrshire in 5, Adam Hill, Stirling Swim in 6, Leighton Lavelle from Durham City in 7, and Kyron Chapman from Glenrothes down there in lane number 8. Again, entry times for these all in the 109 range, but that was the same for the previous heat, and we saw 105 go through. Who is going to take the initiative at the halfway point? Not quite as fast as the previous heat. 31.60 for Samuel Whitehorn.
Of course, we saw that superb 200 freestyle from Samuel early on, so he's pretty quickly back in the water here, and pretty quickly showing what he can do on breaststroke, as he is now leading by about a metre from lane 7, Leighton Lavelle. They are looking like they're going to be the 1 and 2 here, unless there is a real strong push from somebody else. Lane 5, I think Adam Thompson in 3rd place, but it's another nice swim from the Midlothian swimmer, Samuel Whitehorn. Let's see what his time is going to be, 106.94, so that is an improvement of over 2 seconds for him. Doing that tired after a 200 freestyle, what could he have done if he was fresh?
Exactly.
Or maybe that was his warm-up.
Yeah, nice warm-up, the 200 freestyle. Oh, my
Excellent.
goodness, yeah. Leighton Lavelle in 2nd, and Finlay Bennett just holding on to that 3rd spot. Let's see, lane number 1 in this 4th heat, Tom Strong, City of Sunderland, Lewis Austin from Highland, into Jack Wallace and Calvin MacDonald, University of Aberdeen Performance, they go in 3. Aidan Williamson, 2nd Highland swimmer, goes in 5. Alex Stewart, Glasgow University in 6. Jasper Hall, Newcastle in 7. and Jaden Chan, West Lothian, in lane number 8. Again, entry times 108 range now. The outside lane swimmers just in the low 109s. But we've seen a 105 and a 106, Duncan, so it is possible to get big improvements, as we have seen. Lane number 5 going well. Aidan Williamson from Highland, and also Jack Wallace from University of Aberdeen Performance. Might be Jack that just has the edge here in lane number 3, University of Aberdeen Performance. Well, we've had a busy programme. Lots of swimmers, University of Aberdeen Performance, haven't they? And a few of them swimming multiple events, as we learned this morning.
Yeah, bringing down a big team from Aberdeen, and nice to see that team developing strongly over the last few years, since of course we got that fantastic facility in Aberdeen, the Aberdeen Sports Village, where quite a lot of our national events are held. This is going to be tight there at the finish here, and it's lane 7 that's come through. Jasper Hall to edge it. The Newcastle also getting it by 700ths in 107.76. Takes over a second off his edge time. He did his edge time 109 last year here, so it takes a second and a quarter off that. Unfortunately, we have a disqualification. That was Alex Stewart in lane 6, technical infraction for him. So the 7 swimmers with times to take forward.
Yeah, lane number 5, heat number 5 even, of the 6 heats.
We have a swimmer in lane number 5 as well.
Oh yeah. Broken Smith, they're not all in lane number 5.
Yes, because it's Glenrothes.
Oh, of course, yeah, that's it.
Know.
Yeah, give them a special mention, that's it, yeah. But no favouritism here.
No, of course not.
Jack Philpott, Derwentside and Gateshead. Craig Shaw from South Lanarkshire, Peter McGrawler from Derwentside, Gateshead, Aidan Bruce, Aberdeen, Brogan Smith, the youngster in the field, 13 years of age from Glenrothes, Roman Wallace, Borough Barnsley, Luke Garrity, Inverclyde, and Jack Milne, University of Aberdeen Performance, one of the para swimmers. He goes on the near side lane to us. Aidan Bruce is the man who leads them out, the Aberdeen swimmer. And in the centre lanes, but not much in it at all. Maybe the top end of the pool going a little bit better. Jack Philpott in the outside lane might be taking up the running, the Derwentside swimmer. Right at the very top of the picture. And Peter McGrawler also in the mix here. It could be 1 and 2 for Derwentside and Gateshead, but it might not be. Aidan Bruce going really well, the Aberdeen swimmer, but it might just go to Jack Philpott, I think, in the outside lane. It does, in 107.44, with Aidan Bruce in second, also in the 107 range for Aidan Bruce. And Craig Shaw coming through for third place, just ahead of Peter McGrawler.
So close, that one. All the action up at the top of the screen, and well, it was very, very close indeed. One more heat then, and there's your lineup. Ben Swan for Borough Stockton. He is there. 2 is Fraser Dow of Perth City. Lachlan Small in lane 3 for Stirling Swimming. Albert Bangan, University of Stirling in 4. William Morris, Borough Stockton in 5. Toby Bullock of Midlothian in 6. Sam Chittleborough of Silver City in 7. And Jack Kelso of Morpeth in lane 8. So 106s and 107s in this final heat. As I mentioned, 105.29 is the time they've got to try and beat. Good start in lane 4. That's Albert Bangham. We've seen some excellent swims from Albert this weekend. So what can he do? He has got the advantage here. Turns 30.02, and that is by some margin the fastest we've seen. 7/10 ahead of Lachlan Small, and that translates to about a body length advantage for Albert. And well, he's started to be attacked a little bit, but he's still got a healthy lead, and that's a nice turn from him as well, showing very good skills off the wall there. Going nicely at the bottom of your screen, Jack Kelso of Morpeth, a number of others coming at him. Albert Bangan's gap is shrinking, but he will hold on to take the win, and 104.98, that takes him into the C final. 105.52, just misses out in second place. So great swim from Albert. He will has earned himself a second swim in 104.98. I think that makes him, fourth fastest in the C final. Congratulations to him.
Ian Lachlan Small, we spoke about him earlier on as well. Another one with a heavy programme, and he did really well there, the Stirling swimmer, to come through in 105.52. So 2 big improvements at the front of the field. And now we're on to the 50s. This will go pretty fast. Maya Reynard, Rebecca Shand, Greta Jokowaiti, Joey Horn, Katie Maloney, Ruby Robinson, Heather Klobb and Eloise Herbert. 50 freestyle for female swimmers. 6 heats of this one. Who is leading them? Maya Reynard, maybe, possibly that top end, or possibly down at the bottom. Eloise Herbert from Tadcaster. Well, danger all over the pool here. It might be the Tadcaster swimmer into the finish, and it is Eloise Herbert, 27.70. Nice finish as well from Eloise. Greta Jokowaiti in second. A tie for third there between Rebecca Shand and Jory Horn.
Yeah, so some nice improvements in that first heat.
This is where we might see some dead heats. Might see some
It's just
swim-offs
itching
maybe.
for a swim off. Yeah. We talked about that this morning. We haven't had one yet. There's still time. Heat number 2, Alexandra Miller, Louise Connell, Anna Campbell, Ellie Kennedy, Brooke Stevenson, Millie Northrup, Caitlin Frame and Rebecca Fabian. So the entry times here, 28.0. In fact, 200s separating the whole field here on paper. But it is the University College Dublin swimmer in lane 8. Is it? Or no, I think it's lane 4. In fact, it's going to get it. Ellie Kennedy, a City of Glasgow, in fact by half a second. Really good second. 50 from her, 27.31. And that's not too far away. 26.8 is the time we're looking for a second swim. So that was a nice swim from Ellie Kennedy. 7/10 inside her entry time.
Yeah, heat 3 on the way right now. Emily Burrell, Katie Palmer, Kirsty Breakin, Macy Walton, India Leonie Bryden, quick turnaround for her, Katie Lancaster, Millie Colvin and Hayden Holmes. We have all 8 swimmers. Again, entry times very, very tight indeed. Only a 1/10 of a second separating everyone in the field, so this could go absolutely anywhere. Hayden Holmes did well in the early stages. Very good reaction for Hayden right at the top here, but maybe, possibly Katie Lancaster and India Leonie Bryden with that warm-up just a short time ago, but it might well be Emily Burrell at the top, and it is going to go to India Leonie Bryden. Just takes it, 27.85, 3/100ths ahead of Emily Burrell. So great finish there from the Dundee City Aquatic swimmer to take it, 27.85.
Yeah, we're certainly seeing some hard racing going on here. And in heat number 4, we have Meredith Harness, Morven Adams, Ailsa Clubb, Amelia Leslie, Connie Hart, Kira Pemble back again, Maddie Hall and Anna Lee. 27.5 up to 27.9. That's a massive differential, 4/10 in this one.
So clear this one.
Here they come then. Who's first to turn? It's close. Good number of swimmers all turning in there. Lovely turn from Maddie Hall in lane 7. The youngster from Warrender, just 13 years old. Is it going to be Maddie or is it going to be one in the centre lanes? Ooh, so close. Amelia Leslie gets it. 27.62 for Amelia.
She had a good finish there, really just hit the wall perfectly. I think it was Connie Hart next to her didn't have quite as good a finish as Amelia Leslie, and that made the difference, 0.18 in the end. 27.62 takes it. Here is heat 5. Hannah Lafferty, Rebecca Schulman, Alicia Baxoli Soler, Katie Lowe, Eva Aguero, Sophie Steele, Millie Mainwaring and Caitlin Morton. So 27.40 again, another one only split by a 1/10. 27.40 to 27.50. Can anyone dip under that 27-second mark? Can they give themselves a chance of another swim this evening? Maybe Millie Mainwaring. She's already earned herself another swim. Can she do it again? It might be Millie Mainwaring or might be Alguero. But it is 26.70, and that looks like another swim was earned by Millie Mainwaring. Eva Alguero also under the 27-second mark. Great swim from Eva.
Yeah, Millie Mainwaring on fire this weekend, so that will be a second swim for her tonight. So good, terrific stuff. Comfortably again into the C final as she was earlier on. So one more heat to go. Sophia Kelly, Emma Price, Tyler Gilmurray, Molly Irvin Watson, Rose McDermott, Alana McDonald, Katie Blunt and Bronwyn Payne. So now 26.85 is the target time they've got to beat. Or in a line pretty much. Lane 2 maybe just first to the turn. Emma Price from Stockton coming out of the turn. Well, you tell me, because I haven't a clue who's going to get the winner on this one. Let's see as they come in. Is it any clearer? Lane 8 is it, or lane 2? It's lane 2, Emma Price. 27.18 for her. 10th inside her entry time. Very strong swim there from Bronwyn Payne in second place.
Everybody in the 27 range on that one, I think, Duncan.
Yeah, okay.
27.18 down to 27.99.
Was waiting for confirmation, but there we have it. So tie for 27.62, but alas, it's not in a swim-off territory.
Oh. Well, what we're going to get for this one, 50 metres backstroke. Again, 6 heats of this 50 backstroke. Fraser van der Meulen goes in lane number 1. Lewis Gibson, Lewis Austin, Ruben Pearson, Harry Gibson, Conan Swinney, Joseph Kane, and Aaron Drake. That's the lineup for this one. So 6 heats of this 50 metres backstroke. And all the swimmers in this one, again, incredibly close margins in terms of entry time. Only 14 100ths of a second separating everyone here. Ruben Pearson, 28.86, the Bells Hill swimmer in lane 4. And the slower swimmers in the outside lanes, Fraser van der Meulen and Aaron Drake, 29.00. But could go anywhere, Duncan. Could go anywhere.
It could indeed. Yeah, now we've got the backstroke ledges sorted. Always think of my past co-commentator Sandra Ingalls when they have problems with these backstroke ledges. Thought they were the worst invention in the world. So Sandra, if you're listening, we're thinking of you.
They've settled in a little bit in recent years, haven't they? So Van der Meulen in lane number 1 with a good reaction there. Lewis Gibson and Ruben Pearson, the best reaction times off that block. But coming into the turn, it looks like it is Conan Swinney possibly in lane number 6. Joseph Kane with them. So these two might just take this one. Again, the entry time just under the 29-second, and it is going to be Swinney, 27.46. Wow, another big improvement there on a 50 as well.
Yeah,
right,
Conan.
1.5 seconds.
Conan has had some great swims so far this weekend. So he is looking really good into heat number 2, and there's your lineup. Robbie Thompson. We have a change. Harry Willis getting an opportunity from the reserve bench in 2. It's lane 2. And we have then Jed Armitage, Edwin Valentin Ivanescu, Carl Muirhead, Matthew Brown, David Lamman and Noah Ragg. Getting themselves underway. Entry times here 28.56 up to 28.80. To the wall, led by lane 4, Edwin Valentin Ivanescu of Edinburgh University. I think his first season at Edinburgh. I don't remember seeing him before, but he's looking strong here. 28.56 entry time, and he's going to be a good way inside that. 27.90, so knocks off over 6 tenths. Got pushed at the end there That was a strong finish from Jed Armitage, 27.99, so just 900ths in it at the end. And Calm, your head of West Lothian taking third.
Even Esco had to adjust there right at the end, so it was a little bit closer than it might have been in that stroke, but he did enough to hit the wall first.
That's what you've got to do.
Let's see who's going to hit it first this time. A couple of young swimmers in this one as well in the centre lanes. Full lineup: Will Gibson, Finlay Geddes, Titus Pike. 2 15-year-olds, Tyler Spalding and Kai Fern. Henry Mack, Fergus Woodward, and closest to us, the 14-year-old Nibby Singula from Highland. We'll see. Where's this one going to go? 28.5 is the fastest entry time. 28.4 the fastest entry time. Really fast start there. 3 lanes from the top. University of Stirling, Titus Pike. And again, good work underwater as well. Fergus Woodward also going well down at the bottom, but it might be Titus Pike in lane 3. If he can hit this finish, he does in 27.45. Excellent swim again here. So improvements in every heat so far. Fergus Woodward and Will Gibson also under the 28-second mark.
Yep, so some nice improvements from the 3 of them. As we go to heat number 4, line up in this one. Our cameraman going a wee bit crazy here. But, back to some normality. We've got Calvin MacDonald, Rowan Brown, Daniel Morehouse, Tom Armitage, Taylor Anderson, Sam Chuttleborough, Jaden Chan, Manu Drysdale. Here's your lineup. Big shout out actually to our camera crew. They do a fantastic job for us here this weekend. It's you've got to concentrate the whole way through on that camera, get the best shots you can, and thank you very much to them for what they're doing. So in this one, 28.1 up to 28.4 the range of times. Tom Armitage, the Highlander, with the fastest entry time in lane 4, but much of a muchness coming out of the start. Pushing on nicely in lane 7, Jaden Chan of West Lothian. Beside him, lane 8, Manu Drysdale. Nice skills off the wall there from him. Is he going to do enough to take this? It's very, very close between the leading group. Is it going to be Manu? Yes, it is, by 200. 28.17 and 28.19 for Tom Armitage. It's your 1-2 there. And Jaden Chan in third, 28.26. Manu improving from a 28.4 down to that 28.17.
Jaden Chan finishing strongly, just missed his finish there almost. He might have just hit it on one arm, had to take that extra stroke, and that cost him maybe a 1/10 of a second. So good contest though.
Yeah, fine margins, isn't it, in these sprint events.
And here is heat number 5. Can anyone dip under the 28-second mark here? Looks like a busy pool with these side-by-side starts, doesn't it? Callum McKenzie, Corey Phillip, Max Turnbull, Jacob Light, Adam Prusik, Lewis Kessel, Nathan Wilson and Harry Cook. Nice fast start there, lane number 5 going well. Adam Prusik might be first to the wall, no, maybe closest to us, Harry Cook. And again, using that underwater, great swim there from Harry Cook. Nathan Wilson also in the mix as well, but Harry Cook with that good turn might have done enough here. Reaching for the wall again. That was a decent enough finish for Harry Cook. Just about managed to get to the wall first, and 27.28. I think that's the fastest we've seen out of all the heats this afternoon. Corey Phillip in second, Adam Prusik in third, but it was mighty close for second, third, fourth and fifth.
And we have one more heat in this 50 backstroke, and the lineup: Ishmael Shalabi, Alexander Morton, John Mackay, Scott Mitchell, Ethan Stewart, Archie Smith, Finlay Nelson and Magnus Morris. So as I said, 26.55 target time for another go tonight. Fastest entry time here, 27.48. Scott Mitchell, well, almost you can call him a veteran from Glenrothes, 27-year-old. So we'll see how he goes. We've seen him doing some Masters events as well in the last year. Good start in lane 3. That's John Mackay of the University of Stirling. And I think he's maybe, well, lane 2 as well up there. Alexander Morton of Darlington out of the turn. And very good skills there in lane 8 from Magnus Morris, and that has turned it around for him. Is he going to come in first? I think so, and he does. 27.44 in the end, just by 600ths from Ethan Stewart, and then Alexander Morton another 300ths back, 27.53. But it was the turn what done it for Magnus there.
It was. We got a nice vantage point for these turns, especially with the lanes closest to us. But we've seen, as you said, Duncan, some very good skills, very good techniques off the turns and off the start, especially in that backstroke. But we up the distance again, back to the 200 metre events, and it's the 200 breaststroke, female 200 breaststroke, and there are 4 heats in this one. And the first heat is underway. There are your swimmers: Molly Irvin-Watson from Dumfries in 1, Alana Wilson and Millie Barton, both Bells Hill, they go in 2 and 3. Ailey McNichol from Glenrothes in 4, Jodie Lau from Derwentside and Gateshead in 5, Lula Milne from City of Glasgow in lane 6, Caitlin Allars in Tadcaster in lane 7, and Charlotte Soulsby from Newcastle in lane number 8. So entry times just under the 250 mark. A couple of swimmers on 249 and the others on 250. And out to an early lead, the Derwentside swimmer Jodie Lau, 15 years of age. Lula Milne, the youngest in the field at 13. She's 1 lane down. City of Glasgow swimmer with that blue cap, with a white G of City of Glasgow on the side. And Jodie Lau, Derwentside, 15-year-old, has gone out really fast, 2:49.89 and 1:16.77 at the halfway point, and with that split of 40 seconds, 41 seconds, you're looking at a very big improvement if she can continue this pace, Duncan.
Yeah, we've talked about this before in 200 breaststroke. We talked about it this morning, that the second half can be tough if you've gone out too fast, but hopefully Joey knows what she's doing here and has controlled this. She's still looking pretty strong here, not showing any signs of weakness. We get a lovely close-up shot of her. I hope that people are watching from the Derwentside area, and there's beautiful shots of Joey there as she comes into the 150, 159.50 for her. So that was a slower split there, 42.7, but still looking set for a big improvement on her entry time. And well, surely nobody's going to get close to her. Molly Irvin-Watson in lane 1, holding second place ahead of Ailey McNichol in lane 4, but this is the Joey Lau show. She is bringing them down the final length. As I mentioned, 2:49.89, the entry time for the 15-year-old. She's going to have that one for breakfast. It's going to be a big PB here. Let's see how she comes in, still looking nice and controlled. 2:43.36, 6 seconds inside her entry time. Good swim as well from Molly in lane 1, 2:47.74, and that's a 2.5 second improvement, with Caitlin Allers in a fairly tight contest taking third from Charlotte Soulsby, who we seem to be mentioning quite a bit this afternoon. I think that's her third swim.
Is it already this afternoon?
I think so.
The tough, these swimmers.
What it is to be young.
Yeah, back in the day, club championships, used to go there, swim 5 or 6 races in one night, PB in all of them.
You were telling me about your first Paralympics in New York, when you had to do how many swims in one day?
I think it was about a dozen actually, because all our events were on the same day. So heats and finals. But yeah, I was a youth at that point. That was back 40 years ago. Oh, I must have been very young, huh?
Yeah, you must have been still in your nappies. Heat number 2, enough of this nonsense. Olivia May Curran in 1 for Tadcaster, Iona Casapidis of Carnegiean 2, Sydney Boyd of Midlothian in 3, Millie Rivers of Chesterley Street in 4, Marley Bow of City of Sunderland in 5, Neve Blackett of Newcastle in 6, Amelia Burrell of Glenrothes in 7, and Macy Carty, who's having a good week. She goes in lane 8 for Fauldhouse, but clear leader. Millie Rivers off to a cracking start here, 35.96, just a touch faster than Joey Lau's split from the previous heat. Millie, another 15-year-old from the northeast, Chesterley Street this time. Her entry time 2:47. That's the fast entry time of the swimmers in this heat, and is up by what? Good couple of meters on the swimmers in lane 3 and lane 6. That's Sydney Boyd in 3 and Neve Blackett in lane 6. So those two will just try and get close to Millie and see if they can expose any weakness. Sydney maybe is catching up. Be interesting to see their 50 splits here. So 41, only 400ths the gap. It looked like Sydney was catching a bit, but 1:17.78, a lead of about 1.3, 1.4 for Millie into the second half. So let's see if she can keep that one going in the second 100.
Well, we saw Joey in that previous heat, Joey Lau, some very good 200, but on the second 100 she kind of dropped the pace a little bit. She went out very, very fast, but Millie has gone out not quite as fast in that previous heat, not quite as fast as Joey Lau in that previous heat, but she's holding on pretty well here. 43.71. Sydney Boyd coming back now. This could be a real tussle now. Hopefully they'll push each other. Amelia Burrell coming through really strongly, 42.96. I wonder if Amelia is going to force her way into the front of this field. She's certainly the fastest in the water so far. Millie Rivers keeping her eye on Sydney Boyd as they go over that final turn, but they won't be aware of Amelia Burrell in lane number 7. And can Amelia, the Glenrothes swimmer, just nick this one at the end? Not sure she's going to be able to, but she's going to be having a very fast finish now. 3 swimmers all in together. Who's going to get this one? And it is Millie Rivers, the long-time leader, led pretty much from start to finish, but look at how close it was. Amelia Burrell getting up for second place, and a really good last 100 for Amelia to take her into the top 2 positions, but Millie Rivers just about had enough to hold on. Oh, and unfortunately we do have a disqualification, technical infraction for Macy Carty in lane 8.
Yeah, that was a good one, that one, and 3 good times from the 3 at the front of that race. So there's different ways to swim that 200 on there. Go out hard and hang on, or save yourself for the second half and really push on. We saw both of those strategies, and it was the go out hard one that just came out of trumps that time. Heat number 3, we have Lexi Lamont of Aberdeen in 1, Maddie Hall of Warrender in 2, Alyssa Goodbrand of University of Aberdeen in 3, Beth Richardson of Tynemouth in 4, Jasmine Smith of Lerwick in 5, Matilda Hendon of Tadcaster in 6, Ellen McPhee of Fauldhouse in 7, and Emma Binney of Inverclyde in lane 8. 2:46 and 2:47's the entry times here. And a good solid start in lane 5 from Lerwick's Jasmine Smith. But Alyssa Goodbrand just ahead of her. Alyssa Goodbrand, 36.31. Not quite as fast as the first 50 from Millie Rivers. Although, in fact, the fastest, Joey Lau, overall, so far, 2:43.36. So that's the target time for these swimmers. Their entry time is slower than that, 2:46 and 2:47s. And you can see the Shetland flag proudly displayed by Lerwick's Jasmine Smith. She comes now with a clear lead, so a good second 50 from her, and goes through 1:17.29. Jasmine, 23-year-old, spent some time at Edinburgh University, now obviously back in the Shetlands, and Well, showing some nice form here.
Yeah, it looks like she's in a good position here. We're only just over the halfway point though, so we'll see if anyone can make a challenge. Alicia Goodbrand, probably the most likely. University of Aberdeen performance in lane number 3. One lane down as well from the leader is Matilda Hendon from Tadcaster, the 14-year-old. One of the younger swimmers in this field. And it's 2 minutes, 0.15 for Jasmine Smith. Still leads them, has a lead of around about 1.5 seconds, 1.7 seconds ahead of the second place Alicia Goodbrand, Matilda Hendon. It's still hanging on to at third spot, but Maddie Hull, a 13-year-old, having a good try on this closing stages now. And Maddie Hull get herself up into the top 2-3 positions here, but coming back now, it's going to be another decent time here for Jasmine Smith, the 23-year-old from Lerwick. She is going to be into the wall. Can she get in the low 240s? 244, 25. Excellent swim again from her. Alicia Goodbrand, 246.20, 2/100 shy of her entry time. And Maddie Hull, a good finish there, an improvement on the entry time for the 13-year-old from Warrender. But Jasmine Smith took that one.
Yeah, had to stretch for the wall at the end there, didn't she? It was the old conundrum, extra stroke or stretch through. I think she made the right decision there, but probably would have liked to have been slightly closer to the wall on her last stroke, just to absolutely nail that finish. But nice 2-second improvement on her entry time. Final heat. Emily Jackson of Newcastle in 1, Eva Robertson of Highland in 2, Ava Findlay of Morpeth in 3, Leah Bullock, University of Aberdeen in 4, Gabriella Winton of Monifeith in 5, Cara White of Ren 96 in 6, Katie Towers of South Lanarkshire in 7, and Abby Mitchell of Elgin in lane 8. Entry times here 2:44 and 2:45s. And they're stretched across the pool pretty much in a line here as we come up to the 50. Who's going to get the touch? Well, that's between lanes 1 and 4, I think, and it is lane 1 by 0.02 of a second, 36.82. It's actually the slowest of the 4 heats at the 50, so they'll be looking to wind it up, I'm sure, as this heat progresses. It's certainly a good competitive affair. Eva Robertson of Highland is right in the mix in lane 2, and then lanes 4 and 5, Leah Bullock, Gabriella Winton side by side. And coming out of that turn, Gabriella Winton looking strong in lane 5, the Monifeith swimmer.
Yeah, of course, this is one that there's just an A and a B final, isn't there? So quite tough to make that top 16 for these swimmers in the afternoon session. They're going to have to be big improvements from the entry times. Emily Jackson, though, just takes the lead there. A lot of action happening right at the top. Emily Jackson and Eva Robertson, but in the middle, Gabriella Winton goes into the 125 in first position, and the 2 at the top. Well, they'll certainly be aware of each other. Hopefully push each other on to decent times. Emily Jackson and Eva Robertson, both those entry times on 2:45. Gabriella Winton, entry time of 2:44.6. So coming through now at the 150, Gabriella Winton, you see all those leading 3 swimmers in the 42-second range, so they are stretching away from the others. And who is going to have enough to get the touch here? Gabriella Winton looking good, but Eva Robertson now beginning to make a little bit of a move here. I think it's going to be between these two as to who gets to the wall first. Now they're going to get inside their entry times of 2:44. Winton just about maintaining that slight advantage that she had off that turn, but it's going to be mighty close at the finish now. 3 swimmers all coming back. Emily Jackson in the mix as well, and it is Gabriella Winton. Oh, 13/100ths of a second ahead of Emily Jackson, who finished really well, 3/100ths ahead of Eva Robertson. And there are the finishing times 2:44.39 for Gabriella Winton. Jackson and Robertson also improvements on their entry times.
Yeah, I'm not sure Gabriella had a lot left there at the end there. She gave it everything, particularly in that second half.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, absolutely. Got it.
You got to leave everything in the pool, Duncan. No point in having energy left.
You're absolutely right. And these guys are not going to have too much left at the end of this because it's 200 butterfly time for the male open event. You can see we've got 6 heats in this one. And there's 5 swimmers there taking the water in heat 1, and they are Carrick Thompson of Inverclyde in lane 2, Kieran Smith of Orkney in 3, Ewan Nielsen of Cumbernauld in 4, James Hendon of Tadcaster in 5, and Thomas Connell of Tynemouth in lane 6. Entry times here all in 2:24s, and very close here as we come up to the 50 turn. Maybe lane 4, is it? Yes, Ewan Nielsen, 29.66, has the advantage of about 4/10. And nice turn from him as well, just increased his lead somewhat, I think, as he comes down towards the 75-metre turn. And he's now got the best part of a body length advantage over the 4 swimmers behind him. And, well, let's see again. It looked like he is picking up in the turns. We'll see if that's a theme. It seems to be staying fairly constant in the swim, so he's going into the turn at halfway here, about a body length up, 104.20. Let's see as he comes out, as he built that lead. Hard to tell from that camera shot, but you could see there, well, not so much that time, but still in a good solid position at the front of the race.
Yeah, again coming through to the 125. I think they are beginning to slightly close on Ewan Nielsen. He's still got quite a bit to go here. This could all change about in this last 75 metres, that's for sure. Let's see what the advantage he had. Last time they came down to that bottom end, it was 1.43 seconds was the advantage. And we're going to get the splits on this one. I'm not sure we are now, but I think it's slightly closer. There's Ewan Nielsen. Thomas Connell now trying to make a little bit of a bid here. Swimmers closest to us, Thomas Connell from Tynemouth. He's going to be into the wall first. 2:24 is the entry times for all these swimmers. And I wonder if Ewan Nielsen's got anything left now for this final surge to the wall. Carrick Thompson also going well right up there in lane number 2, but I think it might be Thomas Connell might just take it. Thomas Connell will take it in all the 2s. Look at that, 2:22.22.
So another one who won't have any difficulty remembering what their time was. So well done, Thomas. That's a good swim. He was entered on 2:24.53, so it takes 2.3 off that time. Confirmation there, and unfortunately we have a disqualification. James Hendon with a technical infraction. So 2:23 second and third there, also inside their entry times. We'll line up for heat number 2. Logan Scally. Is he there? No, I don't see him there in lane 1, so we're missing him. In lane 2 is Lachlan Bremner of Highland. 3 is Luke Thompson of Bathgate. 4 Blake Herbert of Tadcaster. 5 Jasper Broom of South Ayrshire. 6 Adam Merrick. He goes for Cumbernauld. Noah Lucatelli of Warrender in 7, and Blake Herbman of Inverclyde in lane 8. So 7 swimmers in this second heat. Entry times here 2:23s, so 2:20 and 2:22s, 2:22.45 the fastest time. And looks like Lachlan Bremner in lane 2 just with it touch, not by much at all, 100th of a second. 30.08 for him. Adam Merrick 30.09, and others pretty close. Jasper Broom in particular in lane 5, but also lane 3 Luke Thompson, 14-year-old from Bathgate in West Lothian. So coming down towards the 100. Most of the field still very much in contention here. Let's see as they come up to the 100. Is it still going to be Lachlan? Yes, it is. 1:05.10. In fact, he's got a bit more of a lead now. 36 hundredths. Jasper Broom's second, Luke Thompson third. Going nicely out of that turn in lane 8 is Blake Herdman. But he's a little bit back on the leading 3. I think we are down to these 3 as we come through the 125 and down towards the hard end of this 200 fly.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be tough for this last 50. Lachlan Bremner still doing well, still looking powerful. Can he keep this stroke going? 141.00 against 141.68 for Jasper Broom, who's moved through now into second position. Luke Thompson in third. Don't count him out though. Get a little bit of a spurt on, I'm sure, down this final 25. Great turn though for Lachlan Bremner, keeping him ahead of the others. Jasper Broom now trying to come back. Luke Thompson also there, but I think Lachlan Bremner might just have enough to hold on here. Led right from the start and right into the end. Oh, he was feeling it there at the end, but he did enough. Lachlan Bremner, 218.63. So good swim there from Lachlan Bremner, holding off the challenge of Jasper Broom, who finishes in second, and 219.02 and 219.59 for Luke Thompson. 3 swimmers under the 220 mark, and that's great for entry times in that heat of 222. So 5 swimmers, in fact, inside their entry times.
Yeah, good stuff there. And certainly you felt that Lachlan, we talked about leaving it in the pool. I think that's exactly what he did there.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot left, but very, very strong. So
I did say you should leave everything in the pool unless you've got like 5 or 6 events to swim. No, they're good at recovery, these youngsters, aren't they? That's what they're trained for.
They certainly have, yeah. So this is the lineup for heat number 3. Conan Swinney of Derwentsside and Gateshead in 1. Ben Teward of Tynemouth in 2. Finley Bennett of South Lanarkshire in 3. Lewis Muir of Carnegie in 4. Oliver Brown of South Tyneside in 5. Luke Littler of Derwentsside and Gateshead in 6. Cole Murphy of City of Glasgow in 7. And Lewis Maxwell Pauls of Warrender in lane 8. Lewis Muir taking it out, 28. It's 8-0 for the Carnegie swimmer. Carnegie club based in Dunfermline, just the other side of the Forth Bridge, or the Queen Elizabeth Crossing, don't we call it now, for the road anyway. So
the old bridge is now called that, is it? The Forth Road Bridge.
Oh, the new one.
The new one, is it?
I think so. Yeah.
Queensferry Crossing.
Oh, Queensferry Cross. Sorry, yes.
Yeah. I thought the old one had been renamed there for a minute.
Ignore me. I don't know what I'm talking about. 103.32 though. I do know that Conan leads at halfway. In lane 1, another great swim from the outside lane, and Conan has been in fantastic form this weekend. We've seen a series of good swims from him, and certainly this is amongst them, the Derwentsside and Gateshead 15-year-old. He came up to Scotland for national age groups, up to Aberdeen, was a finalist there, but I think he's moved on quite a bit since then in terms of his performances. 138.40 is the fastest split we've seen, and he's looking strong in this final 50. It's a 35.0 against 35.5 for Lewis Muir. They are 1 and 2 with lane 6, Luke Littler in 3rd place, so 2 from Derwentsside and Gateshead in the top 3 here, but no one I think will catch Conan as he brings this one down the final length. He's been in control the whole way through, and certainly we're talking about good recoveries. He's had a busy meet, but he's looking as fresh as a daisy there and taking it in 2:13.77. That is a fantastic improvement of about 8.5 seconds on his entry time.
We're not seeing him on our captions. Let's hope that's just a little bit of a blip with the electronic timing.
Yeah, and there's confirmation. So terrific stuff. Luke Littler and Lewis Muir in a good battle at the end there. Luke Littler just getting ahead of Lewis Muir down that last length to take second. And a Derwentsside and Gateshead 1-2 in heat number 3.
Yeah, heat number 4. on its way. 6 heats of this 200 fly for us to enjoy. Samuel Cool from Step Rock is out there in lane number 1. Ishmael Shalabi from Warren de Baths in 2. Oh, is he there in 2? He might be missing lane number 2 possibly. So we have Jamie Hay in 3 from Geary. Ben Palmer from Chesterley Street in lane number 4. Maximus Devanis from City of Sunderland in 5. Hayden Sterling from St Thomas in 6. Lucas Innes from Faldhouse in 7. And Ewan Watson from Renfrew Baths in lane number 8. Swimmers taking their time getting out of the water, almost caused a bit of a collision there with Ewan Watson leading them through in lane number 8, just missing the swimmer exiting the water there. That would have been an interesting one.
A combination of slow swimmers and fast swimming from Ewan. He's absolutely dominating this one from lane 8. Looking really strong here. Lane 6 in second place, that's Hayden Sterling of St Thomas, the team based in Arbroath, north of Dundee. But well, we'll see whether Ewan can keep this going in the second half. That's a really strong first half. 1:03.66, similar sort of time to Conan Swinney in the previous heat, but well, he's done it differently, very fast in that first 50. I wonder if he did have a little bit of a scare when he came up to the wall at the 50 and saw swimmers still in front of him trying to get out, but doesn't seem to be putting him off any. He's still got the lead. Lane 6 is Hayden Sterling, and lane 3 Jamie Hay of Geary moving up, as is lane 5 Maximus Devanis from Sunderland, but it's close now, just well less than 2/10 as they go into the final 50, and all change. Hayden Sterling moving into the lead.
Yeah, he's looking good. He's got the momentum here. Ewan Watson, very good over the first 3 quarters of this race. He's hanging on now to the end. Let's hope he can hang on to a good time. The swimmer in at lane number 8, but right at the front it's the swimmer in lane 6, Hayden Sterling from St Thomas, who is going to come home in front, and he is going to improve the 2:19 entry time to 2:17.59. And in second place is Jamie Hay, and Ewan Watson given that third place. I'm not sure he did finish in third place. We'll just have a little check of those times. No doubt about Hayden Sterling. I think it was Devanis in second place. Yeah, it was. Some of the times correcting themselves on our scoreboard here, but no doubt about that. Hayden Sterling taking it 2:17.59. Devanis, Hay, Innes and Watson. So that is the official times and positions for that heat. A couple of little glitches this afternoon, Duncan, but nothing too serious.
No, and they got it sorted very quickly, which is what you need from our timing team. Doing a good job as always. Finn Proud then goes for Newcastle in 1. Billy Bonner of Borough of Stockton in 2. Calder Murphy of Carnegie in 3. Matthew Piatek, University of Aberdeen in 4. Cody Ingram of the Borough of Barnsley in 5. Dean Bargetti of South Lanarkshire in 6. Luke Wise of Tadcaster in 7. Aaron Steele of South Lanarkshire in lane 8. Into times here 2:17s to 2:19. And it's lanes 5 and 6 turning together pretty much, 800 separating them. Cody Ingram just with the touch, 29.26. So the last 2 heats are a bit faster than that for the first 50. Don't read too much into that, because it's what you do throughout the whole race that matters, not how you go out. And it is the white cap of the Barnsley swimmer, 18-year-old Cody Ingram, who has the advantage. He's entered 2:17.80, and he's got probably what, half a metre in hand, 4/10 at halfway from Billy Bonner, 1:03.92. So third heat in a row with a 1:03 split at halfway. See how this develops. Finn Proud now moving up nicely in lane 1. Can he put in a challenge? There's plenty of them, Paul. All up there, 6 of them.
Oh, Finn Proud was 4th at the bottom end. As he turned at the top, he was first. I think Billy Bonner alongside him. Billy Bonner might have the touch here at the 150. He does, just 139.95. Finn Proud, Dean Bargatti is got a fast split as well. Those top three in the 35-second split for the previous 50. And Bargatti has gone ahead of Cody Ingram now, but looks like it might be Billy Bonner just leading them through. Let's have a look at the time here. 2:18.10 was the entry time for Billy Bonner. He's working really hard into the wall, Billy Bonner. He's going to get this one. It's going to be an excellent time there from Billy Bonner. 2:15.11. Really hit the wall hard there. Didn't quite finish on a full stroke, so maybe a little bit more in the tank for Billy Bonner for future swims, but he will be delighted with that one. 2:15.11, big improvement for him. Dean Bargatti in second and Finn Proud in third, and Billy Bonner, Borough of Stockton. That was a good history in butterfly, the Borough of Stockton. Remember Gemma Lowe was Borough of Stockton at one point, Olympian for the GB team.
Welsh legend, Gemma, yes. Gemma Jarvis now. Right. So, final heat. Aidan Anderson, the 14-year-old from University of Aberdeen, goes in 1. His teammate Logan Jackson in 2. Kai Connolly of South Lanarkshire in 3. Talk about youngsters. 13-year-old Archie Maguire goes in 4 for City of Sunderland. Alexander Morton of Darlington in 5. Daniel Hay of West Lothian in 6. Charlie Ward, Borough of Stockton in 7. And Alexander Anderson of AFS Hartlepool in lane 8. So it's a couple of youngsters, the 13-year-old in lane 4, Archie Maguire, and the 14-year-old Aidan Anderson in lane 1, but it's the older swimmers taking this one out, led by Alexander Morton, 28.22, and that is the fastest 50 split we've seen for the Darlington swimmer. Alexander with a 2:15.99 entry time, certainly pushing it out nicely. The swimmer's not too far behind him though. Going nicely in lane 7, Charlie Ward of Borough of Stockton. So he is in the mix. So in lane 2 is University of Aberdeen's Logan Jackson. I think he might be second. He is behind Alexander's 1:01.68. So that again is the fastest split we've seen by over 2 seconds. So good strong start from Alexander. We are starting to see the youngster Archie Maguire move up steadily in lane 4 in the red cap, so keep an eye on him in the second half.
Yeah, 13-year-olds just beginning to come back into contention now, and we have still got another 50 metres to go, and he's certainly beginning to come back on the early leaders here. Let's have a look at the splits there. Logan Jackson 34.39, Archie Maguire second fastest from that previous 50 and 35 at 48, but Logan Jackson looking good though, looking very controlled here as he goes over on this final turn. Logan Jackson, let's hope he can get a decent time here. University of Aberdeen performance, 2:16.42 was the entry time, and look at this, it's going to be an excellent time for Logan Jackson in 2, and he will touch the wall. 2:12.64. What a fast finish from Charlie Ward there. 35.80 for him on that final 50. 2:14.97, the fastest of anyone in the pool with that 35 for Charlie Ward. But Logan Jackson controlled that one. Second half of the race certainly belonged to him. Alexander Morton was third, and Archie Maguire was fourth. So great swims there in that 200 butterfly. I think we saw an improvement in every single heat in that one for entry times.
Yeah, it's good to see that strength in depth that we have now in Scotland, and has to be said the northeast of England as well, in that tough event. Next event is 100 backstroke. You can see the ledges coming back into use. And in this one, we have got how many heats? Let's have a look. 6 heats in this one. And you can see the swimmers ready to go for the first of them.
Should be one of the big events of tonight's finals. It's female 100 backstroke. A lot of contenders for that one. I'm sure some of these swimmers would love to be in that final session for the 100 back. What are we looking for this one, Duncan? Is it?
We
We'll
are
have
looking for
C final in this one, won't we?
Yeah, there is a C final, and we need about a 65.6 to get a second swim.
Might be possible. We've seen some good swims. The entry times for this first heat all in the 108 range, so it's a bit of an improvement to challenge that 65. You never know, it's all very close. The lineup for this one: Maddie Hoole going in lane 1 for Warrender, the 13-year-old, right at the top. Jasmine Robertson, Aberdeen, in lane 2. Zara Holt, Tadcaster in 3. Rona Anderson from Dilting in 4. Lucy Atherton, Carnegie in 5. Anna Campbell goes in 6 from City of Glasgow. And Abigail Hill in 7, who led at the halfway point closest to us, and may well lead at the 75 metre mark. It's like Abigail Hill, Mulgai and Bearsden. Entry time of 108.69. If anyone can just dip under that 108 mark, that'll be an improvement on the entry times. They're all coming in together. Who's going to get this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swimmers all coming in. And it was Rona Anderson given a touch. 109.20. And there we go. Jasmine Robertson, 6 100s behind. Abigail Hill in 3rd there. I thought she was coming into the wall first, but look at that. 6 swimmers all in the 109 range, and all very, very tight.
Yeah, they'll be a little disappointed not to be in the 108s or below, but a very good tight contest there. And on to heat number 2, Lucy McLeod of first in 1. Lane 2 is Rachel Childs, University of Stirling. Darlington's Millie Shaw in 3. Leah Rafferty of Western Bartonshire in 4. Abby Coventry of Morpeth in 5. Amber Littlejohn of University of Aberdeen in 6. Kalila Smith of Aberdeen in 7. And Molly Scott of Dermonside and Gateshead in lane 8. So 68, the entry time says 68.3 to 68.5. Actually no swimmer in lane 2, no Rachel Childs, so 7 swimmers take it out. Good start in lane 1 at the top of the screen. Lucy McLeod going well, 17-year-old from first. Falkirk based team. Is she going to have the lead at the 50? I think she probably is. As soon as they come to the wall, she goes through 32.39, around about 6/10 faster than the first heat, and nearly that faster than Kalila Smith and Leah Rafferty, just 300s apart behind her. So here you can see nice view of them turning at the 75, and not far away from it now. Leah Rafferty in lane 4, looked to have got a good turn there. Also Molly Scott going well at the bottom of your screen. So these 3, Lucy McLeod at the top, Leah Rafferty in the middle, and Molly Scott at the bottom, and that's the 1, 2, 3, 107.55. There, good swim from Lucy. Came in on a 108.53. Actually did a 107.14 just the other week at Dumfries. So not quite as fast as that today, but a good solid swim inside her entry time. Leah second and Molly third.
So heat number 3 will be on its way there's the lineup for it as we look at the warm up and swim down pool just alongside the pool here. Of course, the 50 metre pool here in the Royal Commonwealth pool. It's been split into 25 metres for the short course championships, and the warm up pool at the other side of the boom, the left hand side of your picture as you're looking at it, as heat number 3 are on their way. Here is the lineup: Caitlin Peebles from East Lothian in 1, Imogen Lowe from West Hill in 2, Nadine Wilson, Borough of Stockton in 3, Lisa McNair from Stirling Swim in 4, Naomi Wilson, Warren DeBass in 5, Lucy Raper from Morpeth, 13 years of age, she goes in 6, Katie Palmer from Chesterley Street in 7, and Charlotte Soulsby. Charlotte Soulsby back in again, another swim. 4th this afternoon for Charlotte Soulsby is Caitlin Peebles, though. who leads them through the halfway point right at the top there in lane number 1. In lane 5, sorry, Naomi Wilson going well. In the middle might be Naomi, who's maybe taking up the running here. Caitlin Peebles doing well still, the Slovenian swimmer, but I think it might be lane number 5, Naomi Wilson from Warrender with that red cap, might be bringing them home. She had an entry time of 108.06, and that is 107.26, so she'll be delighted with that swim, Naomi Wilson. And we'll just wait for confirmation. There we go. It's a tie for second place. Look at that. Imogen Lowe and Katie Palmer. Nadine Wilson just 11/100ths behind the equal second place swimmers.
So heat number 4 out of the 6. We have Maddie Barber for the University of Stirling in 1. Freya Keeling of Carnegie in 2. Darcy Jackson of Tadcaster in 3. Anna Kachenko, City of Glasgow in 4. Heather Clubb of Aberdeen Dolphin in 5. Abigail Crawford, City of Glasgow in 6. Greta Yakubataiti of Derwentsside and Gateshead in 7. And Grace Brown of Newcastle in lane 8. 107.4 to 107.9 the entry times here. So we saw a 107.2 there in that last heat. How is this one going to go? Not too much separating them as they settle into the swim, and stitching into the lead in lane 5 is the Aberdeen Dolphin, Heather Clubb. So just edging through that first turn with the lead, but there's plenty of swimmers close by her. In fact, all 8 swimmers very competitive here. And well, it's really anybody's race at the halfway point. 32.46 for Heather, and then a tie for second between Grace Brown and Greta Yakubataiti. Newcastle versus Derwentsside and Gateshead in that one. Plenty of swimmers up at the top of your screen as well. Maddie, Freya and Darcy all there or thereabouts, but well, coming down this final length, and Grace Brown is looking strong in lane 8. She's had a really strong second half, and she is going to take this one from the swimmers at the top of the screen. 106.84. So we are getting closer to the time required for a second swim. They need to get about another second and a bit off that time. So a nice swim from Grace. Her entry time 107.96, so it takes over a second off that.
Yeah, very good. 106.84, fastest we've seen so far. Let's see what this heat number 5 can do. Kira Pemble back in again. Tough schedule for some of these swimmers. Bronwyn Payne from the Borders Elite Swim Team goes in 1. Rebecca Smith from Aquajets Newcastle in 2. Kira Pemble, her 3rd swim of the afternoon. She goes in lane 3. She's in the Borders team as well. Hannah Lafferty from Atlantis goes in 4. Neve Lonergan from Tynedale in 5. Anna Easton, Dundee City Aquatic in 6. Caitlin Reid from Warrender in 7. And Sydney Boyd from Midlothian in 8. 14-year-old Hannah Lafferty in lane number 4 leads them through, representing Atlantis, Duncan? Any ideas? As Duncan reaches for the Google, but anyway, other search engines are available. Hannah Lafferty leading them through. And maybe just on the near side here, Caitlin Reid from Warrender with that red cap. Sydney Boyd also going well from Midlothian. Let's see if they can get inside that 107 range. Hannah Lafferty really took it out very strong in lane 4. Is she going to be able to hold on here? Danger all over the place here. Rebecca Smith and possibly Anna Easton as well into the wall. It is Anna Easton and Rebecca Smith just going ahead of Hannah Lafferty in the final stages here, but Hannah Lafferty, the youngster, really took it out strong. Couldn't quite hold on to the fast finishing Anna Easton and Rebecca Smith. 107.07.
And the answer to your question is Horsham in Sussex. Is where Atlantis comes from.
Oh.
So thank you, Google, for that information.
They
Oh,
come a long way.
one more heat to go. And the lineup, everybody looks to be there. Oh no, maybe not. Lane 4. So the lineup here, Madison Peveler of Derwentsside and Gateshead in 1. Isla Gilmurray of Dundee City Aquatics in 2. Tegan Black of East Lothian in 3. Then we have the empty lane in 4. 5 is Tatenda Tyenga of Borough of Stockton. Safrina Machin in lane 6 for City of Glasgow. And 2 Tadcaster swimmers, Sophia Kelly and Ruby Robinson in lane 7 and 8. So again, this looks like it's going to be pretty competitive. Going nicely in 3 is Tegan Black. I think she's going to be first to turn. The East Lothian swimmer goes through in 31.49. Entered on 107 dead. As we mentioned, 105.6 the time needed for a second swim. Up at the top of your screen, Madison Peveler, Derwentsside and Gateshead. And then in the lanes 5 and 6, Tatenda and Safrina side by side. Can anyone catch Tegan down this last length? It's not looking too likely that's going to happen. Safrina Machin maybe into second place now, but it's going to be Tegan Black. She's led all the way through, and 105.27, that will give her a second swim. So once again, we've got somebody pushing their way into the C final. Congratulations to Tegan. Second was Safrina Machin, 106.38. And third, Madison Peveler, just behind her. But well done to Tegan Black of East Lothian. She will be swimming tonight.
Yeah, well done indeed. That was a cracking swim there. 105.27.
107 entry time. So yeah, 2 3/4 knocked off that.
Brilliant. So, again, this one should be fast and furious. It's the 100 individual medley for male and open category. 7 heats of this one, and we have 5 swimmers taking this first heat. Henry Mack from Darlington in 2, Adam Prusik from Aberdeen Dolphin in 3, Calvin McDonald from University of Aberdeen Performance in 4, Daniel Moorhouse from Derwentsside and Gateshead in 5, and Luke Garrity from Inverclyde in lane number 6. So 103.84 to 103.94 is the entry time. It's a real sprinters event, this one length of each of the strokes in this 100 metres individual medley. Look at that, 4 swimmers almost touching together at the end of that breaststroke. Where is this one going to go? Daniel Moorhouse, possibly from Derwentsside in lane number 5, might just have the edge here. Adam Prusik going well, but it is Moorhouse who had a good stretch for the wall there at the end. Luke Garrity coming through very strongly for its second position, maybe. Again, we'll just have to wait for confirmation. There we go. 102.89. Luke Garrity in second, Adam Prusik in third, with Henry Mack in fourth.
So this one could get very interesting indeed, because at the moment we have a joint 23rd, so the last slot in the C final 100.28. So if one swimmer gets faster than that, we will be in swim-off territory. This could be our time. But let's see, they've got to get basically up to the minute. These swimmers all entered 103s. Taylor Hutton of Carnegie, 2 from Barnsley, Roman Wallace in 2, Oscar Lugton in 3. Ben Palmer of Birmingham University in 4, Adam Thompson, South Ayrshire in 5, Matthew Brown, University of Aberdeen in 6, Conan Swinney continuing his excellent performances. He'll be going in 7 for Derwentsside and Gateshead, and Archie Smith in lane 8 for Aberdeen Dolphin. Great swim from Ben Palmer on the first 50, the Birmingham University swimmer, 27.54. So he is taking it out very strongly here, because Birmingham University really coming to the fore as a performance team. Of course, Oliver Morgan, the backstroker, now #1 in the country, Olympian from the University of Birmingham. And it is his teammate Ben Palmer looking to hold on to this one from Conan Swinney once again, putting in an excellent performance in 7, but Ben takes it 1:00.68, so not too far away from second swim territory, and a big improvement of nearly 3 seconds on his entry time. Conan once again turning it on for us, 1:01.36 against the 1:03.66 entry time, so another good improvement from Conan. That boy is irrepressible, I think that's the word.
Yeah, certainly busy program, but he's producing the goods on every single swim that we've seen him so far. So 1:08.68. That was what time are we looking for, Duncan?
1:08.28 is the joint 23rd.
Right, okay. Max Turnbull from Midlothian goes in 1 in this third heat. Lewis Austin, Highland, Marcus Blake, City of Glasgow, James Kilpatrick, Carnegie, Hayden Pritchard, Geary, Caelan Johnson and Finlay Geddes, both from Lerwick. They go in 6 and 7, and Will Gibson from Durham City goes in lane number 8, and Will Gibson it is. We might just have the edge here as they come down to the halfway point. Let's have a check of this split. 27.97. Again, it's pretty much a sprint event, but it's quite difficult to compare splits in the individual medley, because as we've seen, as they hit the breaststroke, things could change about even in a 100 IM, and they have. As Will Gibson he was in first place, he's down now in about 8th position as they go over this final turn, and it is Caelan Johnson in lane number 6 and Hayden Pritchard in 5, and maybe Lewis Austin over there in lane number 2. It might be lane 6 possibly. Caelan Johnson 1:02.40, and Lewis Austin in second 1:02.60. So again, improvements here on the entry times for, well, at least the top 4 and possibly top 5. James Kilpatrick maybe just bang on his entry time.
Yep, good stuff from the Shetlander. Now on to lane 4. Lane 4? Oh, that's your trick, isn't it? Heat 4. Ben Swan, Borough Stockton in 1. Caelan Milne of Mingus Hill in 2. Rory McCallum of Milkguy and Bearsden in 3. Lewis Kessel of Darlington in 4. Rory Webster of Dumfries in 5. Jamie McCormack, Chester Street in 6. Tom Armitage of Highland in 7. And Thomas Power of Weir Valley in lane 8. Entry times here, high 102s, low 103s. Out of the turn from fly to backstroke, there's not a lot in it. Lanes 4, 5 and 6 setting the pace. Lewis Kessel, Rory Webster, Jamie McCormack, particularly the two in the centre lanes. Lewis 27.64 has the edge, very similar to Ben Palmer a couple of heats ago. So this is a good strong swim, and now it is Rory Webster, the Dumfries swimmer, who is taking it on. Rory entered 1:02.85, and that was a lovely breaststroke from him, and that's put him in very much pole position coming down the freestyle. He is well clear of the field now with Jamie McCormack in second, but this is Rory's time, 1:00.38. Just misses by a tenth of a second the time it needed. Fantastic swim there from Rory. Entered on 1:02.94, so 2.5 seconds knocked off that. He'll be saying, oh, so close. Tom Armitage, unfortunately, there from lane 7, a disqualification, technical infraction. But great swim from Rory Webster there. The Dumfries man will be happy with that. His coach, Anthony Ryan, I think, will be well pleased with that effort.
Yeah, what can swimmers in lane heat 5 is?
It is catching, isn't it?
Catching now. I'll start again. Heat number 5 of the 7. Finlay Bennett, South Lanarkshire in lane number 1. Jack Philpott, Dermot side, and Gateshead in 2. Alfie Price from Orkney in 3. Rowan Brownhill getting 4. Peter McGrother, Dermot side, and Gateshead in 5. Elliot Arnell, Borough of Stockton in 6. Albert Whitlock from Tunbridge in 7. And Taylor Sinclair goes for Elgin in lane number 8. Elliot Arnell off to a good start in lane number 6. Also going well is Alfie Price. And then Rowan Brown in lane number 4. We didn't get turn time there for Alfie Price, but he's right in the mix and maybe in the lead. Alfie Price looked like a very strong breaststroke, very economical at the front of that breaststroke for Alfie Price in lane number 3. Elliot Arnell and Alfie Price maybe just have the edge there. Albert Whitlock, we know he's very strong. The freestyle coming back now, but Elliot Arnell might just have this one. Keep an eye on the clock. Is it going to be around about the 1 minute mark? Look at this. It is 59.98 for Elliot Arnell, and that is under the 1 minute mark, and that I think will earn him another swim, Duncan.
Yep, certainly looking that way. And 100.84 for Albert Whitlock. Alfie Price 100.9, but well done, Elliot. Burrows, Stockton swimmer getting the job done there. So at the moment we're in swim-off territory with a joint 24th, but of course if another swimmer gets in, then they will both be relegated to the reserve bench. So let's see what happens. We've still got 2 heats to go, but well done, Elliot there. Terrific swim to earn himself a spot, and he has a bit of leeway with a few swimmers can afford to drop out before he will drop out. So the lineup here in Heat 6, Tyler Spalding of Carnegie, Lewis Gibson of South Ayrshire, Matthew Day, City of Sunderland, Magnus Buller of Shetland, Jack Doherty Simpson of City of Glasgow, Brogan Smith of Glenrothes, Anthony Fokker of Birmingham University, and Torin Liversedge of Banchory. And again, there's a good solid start from the Birmingham University swimmer, 27.22 for Anthony. And that's 3/10 faster than his teammate Ben Palmer from a few heats ago, and it was faster than Elliot in the previous heat. And of course all on the breaststroke, but he's still looking good on that. Lane 5 is Jack Doherty Simpson, but this is the Birmingham University swimmer Anthony Falk. Now what's this time going to be? This is going to be another one. Is he going to get under the minute? I think he is. 58.68, and that gets into the B final there for Anthony. Now, first time we've seen that this weekend, forcing a way into the B final from the afternoon heat. So that's brilliant stuff. 59.72 as well, and that will also make a way into. So it's all getting very complicated now. So that's 3 swimmers now have earned themselves a second swim here. So just doing the maths, I think 59.87 probably is the time that this last heat has to try and beat. Oh, it's getting tough.
You wouldn't bet against someone doing that time, as the heats have been mighty fast in this 100 IM. Devin Creighton from Chesley Street in 1, Magnus Morris from Stirling Swim in 2, Corey Phillip from Perth City in 3, Finn Hartridge Morpeth in 4, Logan Jackson University of Aberdeen Performance in 5, Jensen Norris Perth City in 6, Adam Scott Ren 96 in lane 7, and Cameron Hastings University of Aberdeen Performance goes in lane number 8. Oh, Jensen Norris, we saw him earlier this morning, first to the wall there at the halfway point, 26.64. And he's looking in good shape to dip under that 1 minute mark. Jensen still leads them as they go through, and in fact might be Corey Phillip just challenging as well. In fact, Ben Hartridge it is in lane 4 and Corey Phillip, but here comes Jensen Norris. Look at this time, it's going to be a cracking time again. 58.17 for Jensen Norris. Corey Phillip also under the 1 minute mark. Get your calculator out, Duncan.
It all gets very complicated now. 59.9 for Corey Phillip. I think the way things work out, he will now just miss out. But Jensen Norris is another one who will go into the B final with that time of 58.17. So 2 swimmers, Anthony Falk and Jensen Norris, will find their way into the B final. And there'll be a number of swimmers getting into the C final as well. Oh, so complicated, but
I don't think we're even going to get a swimmer for one of the reserve places now.
No, I think they are now out of it. So our swim-off dreams are shattered.
For the time being.
Fantastic stuff from the guys, though. That was brilliant from our 100 IMers. But we go on to our next event, which is 400 freestyle. So this is a little bit different. First of 4 heats, the lineup here. Emma Binney in lane 2 for Inverclyde, Lauren Brett in lane 3 She is representing Edinburgh University. Caitlin Morton, City of Glasgow in 4. 5 is Sophie Allison of Western Bartonshire, and Lexi Lamont goes in lane 6. And she is representing Aberdeen. So entry times here 4:41, some 4:42s. So 16 lengths of the pool in this one. So again here, just the A and the B final to compete for, but of course we've just seen swimmers getting into the B final. Probably a bit easier to do in a sprint event that compared with the 400, but you never know. 1:05.42. Sophie Allison leads the way from lane 5. Western Bartonshire swimmer, West District long course champion in her age group, and 3rd in the Scottish Summer Meet last July. She has about 1.5 meters on Lexi Lamont, a year younger than her, 15-year-old from Aberdeen. So that's your 1-2 as we come up to the 150. So let's just check on their pacing. 35.1 for Sophie, 35.6 for Lexi, Lauren Brett 35.3. So those three all pacing similar, but the fastest of them and looking strong as we come up to the 175 turn is Sophie Allison.
It's just getting a little bit more stretched out now as they come down to the halfway point. Having said that, looks like Lexi Lamont just putting a little bit of a burst of speed to bring her back into contention there. As you can see, around about half a second faster than Sophie Allison on that previous 50. Great having these splits, isn't it, on the on our captions. You can just see, especially in the distance events, we'll see in the 1500 event as well, really helpful for just to see who's maybe got the momentum behind them. And certainly if you're in the venue, you can see whether the swimmers go faster or slower. The scoreboard in the venue puts it in a red or a green if the swimmers are going faster or slower. So that's great if you're coming to watch us here at the Royal Commonwealth Pool. Something to watch out for, and it certainly helps us in the commentary box. That's for sure. Lexi Lamont is stretching away now. She's come up alongside Sophie Allison and gone past her. And again, this 400 freestyle, well, you can have some different tactics in the 400 freestyle. Looks like Lexi has gone really a little bit harder once they've hit that halfway point. And there's a split, 35.58 for Lexi and Sophie Allison 36.36. So Lexi has a lead of almost a second with 100 meters to go. But Lexi Lamont now beginning just to stretch away from Sophie Allison, still in second place. Lauren Brett still doing well in 3rd position. And again, getting a little bit stretched out now as they come to 50 meters to go. Lexi Lamont looks like she is going to take this one. We'll just see the split there. As you can see, 1.2 seconds she took from Sophie Allison in that previous 50, and that's the gap that has opened up now. Lauren Brett and Sophie Allison probably pacing very similar times, only 3 100s between them on that previous 50, so not sure if the positions are going to change on this final 50. Lexi Lamont, 4:41.83 was the entry time. This could be a big improvement for her, and she is in very good. 4:37.56 for Lexi, and she'll be delighted with that one. Sophie Allison, 4:40.62, an improvement for her, and Lauren Brett just behind in 3rd position. Caitlin Morton in 4th, and Emma Binney finishing now in 5th.
So a nice strong swim there from Lexi, just pacing it very nicely. Didn't panic when Sophie Allison went off fast at the beginning, and easing her way past her in a comfortable win for her in a nice PB in the end. There's your lineup for heat number 2. We have Millie Linton and Alice Ward in lanes 1 and 2, both representing Borough of Stockton. 3 is Molly Weir from West Lothian. In lane 4, we have Naomi Wilson of Warrender. Erin Ferris of Cumbernauld in 5. Rebecca Mailing in lane 6, representing Bells Hill. Krista Mackay of Finns, the team based in Kirkcaldy. She's in lane 7. And Anna Barker of the City of Sunderland in lane 8. So the entry times in this one range 4:39 to 4:41. And just into the early lead in lane 3 is the West Lothian swimmer Molly Weir, 30:35 for her. And then behind her, that distinctive yellow cap of Cumbernauld, worn by Erin Ferris. Also a nice start in lane 1 from Millie Linton. There's 2 Stockton swimmers up there at the top of the pool. In fact, we've got a lot of very close swimmers here behind our early leader, Molly Weir, who's setting off at pace here. So the first heat was at 1:05 at the 100, so this is faster, 1:03.86. So Molly up by 2.5 seconds. You see there, 33.5 for her, 34.5 for Millie, and a 35.0 behind her in 3rd place. So can she hold this pace? If she can, she's off for a really good swim, taking this out very, very aggressively. So let's see how things progress and whether she can hold on to this pace. She goes through the 150, 138.37. The venue scoreboard has frozen, so we can't tell whether that's a red or a green. I think it's a red, 34.51. I think they're slightly slower.
Put a curse on it now, haven't I? By mentioning that.
Yep.
Almost queuing up behind her, aren't they?
Lane 1 still going well. Millie Linton, she's in 2nd place, but after that it's very, very close indeed. Lane 7 and 8, Krista Mackay and Anna Barker side by side, but this is halfway. And it is 2:13.89, so that's about 2.5 seconds faster than the previous heat, a 35. So the pace has dropped for Molly. So it was a 34 for her previous 50, now a 35.5. So, well, it's one way to do it. Go out hard and hope you can hang on, and hopefully she can. She's certainly at 35.5. Nobody was faster than that, so she's holding her lead here. But it might get tough, you would think, in this next 150.
Yeah, still a lot of swimming left in this one, but it is Molly Weir, 2:49 at 7.9, and let's see if that lead is closed up. Yeah, half a second she's lost it pretty much for Millie Linton in lane 1, and also from Naomi Wilson as well, but she still has a handy lead there. But Linton starting to come back now. And, well, it's going to be very close at the end now. It looks like, as they go over at this point, 3:23, sorry, as they come into the cut. And again, we've seen someone else stop there. Not sure if that was a miscalculation, Duncan, or whether she's just stopped. She's had some issue there.
I think something's happened that's made her stop there, because, I mean, it was 100 metres short of the end there, so surely she wouldn't have miscounted that much. So I think for her that was something gone wrong, and end of race, which is sad because she went out so hard and gave it everything.
She does seem okay though. She's on that, hanging on that lane rope, so nothing too much to worry about, but that's a shame as Millie Linton's taken up the running. Naomi Wilson now in 2nd, Krista Mackay in 3rd, just alongside Anna Barker here on the near side to us. It's a fight for 2nd place now, I think, as Millie Linton and Borough Stockton is going to take this one home, working really hard on the outside lane. 4:40.99. She was closing on Molly Weir there, and she has finished very strongly, and that time of 4:37.38. Another good time here, just slightly faster than the previous heat at 4:37.38, an improvement of well, some 3.5 seconds, so not too bad at all for Millie Linton.
Yep, very good indeed. So obviously we'll have a disqualification there from Molly Weir once we see that official result come up. Not finishing. That confirmation there, Millie Linton, Naomi Wilson, Krista Mackay, your 1, 2, 3, and 4:37.38, just a touch faster than Lexi Lamont's time from the first heat. A couple of tenths, and a good swim and a nice PB. There's your lineup for heat number 3. Zara Holt for Tadcaster in 1, Myla Pike of Newcastle in 2, Lucy Hall of East Lothian in 3, Emma Creaney, University of Aberdeen in 4, Olivia Caldwell, City of Glasgow in 5, Lauren Heppel of Chesterley Street in 6, Gemma Brown of Carnegie in 7, and Ella Pullman of Glenrothes in lane 8. 4:36 to 4:39 the range of entry times here, so hopefully we'll see a swimmer going faster than the previous 2 heats in this one. Got to get down to 4:26 to get a second swim. That is, I think, going to be tough for the swim and the next heat as well. But let's see how they get on. Lucy Hall, the early leader, the East Lothian swimmer, in lane 3 by 13 hundredths from Myla Pike. Beside her in lane 2, maybe Myla just ahead of her now as they go through the 75-metre turn. So they're the front 2, not a lot to choose between them. The swimmer's not far away. Lane 4 is University of Aberdeen's Emma Creaney. I think she's going to turn 3rd. Who gets the touch? Myla does. 1:04.94 against 1:05.21 for Lucy Hall. And maybe just that gap increasing a little bit now as Myla Pike, 18-year-old from Newcastle, entered on 4:37.96. Lucy just a bit faster than that, 4:37.16. And there's still not much between them, maybe a metre through the 150. Let's check on their pacing. So Myla is going about 3 tenths faster for that 50 split. Both of them faster than anybody else in the pool, with Olivia Caldwell in 3rd place in lane 5. But it does look like it's going to be a lane 2, lane 3 contest here as we come down through the 175 and towards the 200. It's still not too late for Olivia Caldwell to join the party in lane 5 if she can muster a strong second half, but it will be Myla Pike and Lucy Hall taking them through. 6 tenths apart. That was identical splits from the 2 of them. Again, they're faster than anybody else in the pool, so it does, you would think, look like these 2. And Lucy Hall now back alongside Myla Pike, so right together at the turn there. So always like a good head-to-head scrap, particularly when they're in adjacent lanes. Makes it really good psychological stuff as well as physical.
Yeah, well, Myla Pike now in 2nd position. What she got left in the tank, because look at that, look at the difference there between Lucy Hall and Myla Pike. 34.88 against 36.16. So Myla Pike's just got to hold on here to this pace. See if you can hold on to the feet of Lucy Hall, who's going really well. The East Lothian swimmer, youngest swimmer in the field. Oh no, she's not actually, 15 years of age. We have a 14-year-old, Zara Holt, from Tadcaster in the outside lane, but Lucy Hall, 2nd youngest in the field at 15 years of age. And she is looking very, very good. She's gone over there, 3:25.10 at the 300 mark. And looking like she's in good shape to be inside that entry time of 4:37. Coming back in the centre though, looks like Olivia Caldwell now moving into 2nd. Got a long way to make up though if she's going to get back on terms with the leader, Lucy Hall, in lane number 3. Myla Pike struggling with the pace in this late stages now. Ella Pullman coming back, the Glenrothes swimmer, right at the bottom. Well, as they go over at the 350, it's around about a 3-second advantage for Lucy Hall. And this is looking good for an excellent time here. She somewhere in the region of maybe about 4:35 or so, with that entry time of 4:37. So excellent swim from Lucy Hall in lane number 3. Olivia Caldwell is going to come home in second, and it might be third for Ella Pullman in the close lane here. 4:34.88 for Lucy Hall, just picking up the pace in the final stages there. Caldwell in second and Ella Pullman in third, with Gemma Brown coming through strongly to claim 4th place.
Yeah, nice swim from Lucy there. I think she'll be happy with that. The big best swim of the weekend so far, and hopefully that will spur her on to some more good swims in the rest of the weekend. One more heat in this 400 freestyle, and there's your lineup. Emily Forster, City of Sunderland in 1, Jennifer Smith of Borough of Stockton in 2, Alice Perry, Warren de Boss in 3, Emily Rear, University of Aberdeen in 4, Millie Cammack, City of Sunderland in 5, Kate Nolan of East Lothian in 6, Matilda Smith, City of Sunderland in 7, Ella Cunningham, City of Glasgow in 8. Now, Kate Nolan went out like an absolute train in the 800 yesterday and rather paid the price for it in the second half, but she did get a good PB on the back of it, although I think it was a painful way to do it. So it'll be interesting to see what she does here in this 400 freestyle. She's certainly up there in the mix early on. She's just seen her teammate Lucy Hall go well, so she'll be looking to try and make it back-to-back East Lothian wins here. Millie Cammack of City of Sunderland right there with her. So they're 1 and 2 at the 50, 30.18 and 30.43. So Kate Nolan has the advantage, finalist in both the Scottish Summer Meet and national age groups. I think they both were Swammers heats and finals. She's not that far ahead of Millie Cammack, but Millie, the 15-year-old, in fact both of them 15-year-olds, and well matched through the 100 here. Just 500ths between them, and they are faster than the previous heat by nearly a second and a half. So good strong start from the two of them. They are clear of a 4-way contest for third. Looks like maybe it's lane 1. Emily Forster just turning in third, but they are 3 meters or so back on the two black caps at the front. So it's Sunderland against East Lothian. And let's see who's going to have the top
rivalry.
Yes. Or not. Or no. But it's certainly a rivalry at the moment, and it's advantage Millie Cammack who has the edge. And she is just opening up the gap a bit now. And it's looking in good fettle as they go through the 175 turn. Coming up nicely as well now in the red cap in lane 7, that is Matilda Smith. So another Sunderland swimmer. So Kate Nolan surrounded by Sunderland at the moment in lanes 5 and 7, but it is Millie Cammack at the halfway mark, 2:12.40. It's about 1.7 faster than the previous heat. Kate Nolan in second still. Also in that contest for third in lane 4 is University of Aberdeen's Emily React, experienced middle and distance freestyler. So she will be there or thereabouts, you would think, at the end. And on her shoulder in lane 3, Alice Perry of Warrender. But it's Millie Cammack, looks to be taking control here. So you can see there a 34.3 for her last 50, and that compares with 36.3 for Kate Nolan. So again, she's finding it tough after a fast start. 34.8 though for Matilda Smith, and I think she's just edged into second place now. So it's Sunderland 1 and 2 as we come down now towards 300 meters. So Millie Cammack, having had a fairly tight first half, is now out on her own in the second. 100 to go.
Yeah, Millie Cammack there, 3:21. She's might just dip under the 4:30 mark. Duncan, what kind of time are we looking for the B final?
4:26.
4:26. Whoa, maybe not in the 4:26 region. It is, of course, a longer event, so only A and B finals, but nevertheless, This is going to be an impressive swim, an impressive time recorded by Millie Kamak, 15-year-old. If she can just dip under that 4:30, that again would be another one of these swims. We're breaking those barriers. We break the minute mark or the 4:30 mark or the half-minute mark. It's always great to dip under those barriers, and Millie Kamak very much on schedule to do that. As she goes over on the final turn, Millie Kamak, she has been chased now by Matilda Smith, and one lane up Emily Riach, and it looks like Millie Kamak is going to be under that 4:30 mark. Just there we go, 4:29.64. She'll be delighted there to dip under 4:30 and to get a big best time for Millie Kamak. Matilda Smith in second, 4:34.72, and Emily Riach in third, 4:35.19. It was a nice well-paced swim there from Millie Kamak. She was in the group earlier on alongside Kate Nolan, but swam away in the second half to claim that one, 4:29.64.
Yeah, very good stuff from Millie, 15-year-old, doing the job very nicely. And now, well, we've just had the 400. We moved to 1500, so it shows 4 heats there. We'll just have 3 of them this afternoon. So we start off with this first heat, and it looks like we're missing lane 8. Just counting the swimmers there, we've got 7 on the block. So Jed Armitage of Highland in 1, Keir Stormonth of Hearts in 2, Alexander Bell, City of Glasgow in 3, Blake Herbman of Inverclyde in 4, Owen Brown of Newcastle in 5, Michael O'Neill, Borough of Stockton in 6, Ines Gow of Geary in lane 7.
So we'll keep an eye on the pace as these swimmers go through. Over the 1500, the entry times just over the 17-minute mark. So again, maybe one of these barriers can be challenged. Anyone can dip under 17 minutes. That would be excellent. Blake Herb running 4, fastest entry time 4:07.86, but that can easily be challenged. Those big chunks of time can be knocked off in a 1500 freestyle. Go over at the 100 mark now, and it looks like it's Alexander Bell leading them through. City of Glasgow swimmer, 59.53. It's a fast start, 59.53 for Alexander Bell. Again, some of these swimmers have already had a couple of events today. I recognise some of the names in these heats. So it's a pretty tough shift like these Scottish Short Course Championships. Only 3 days of action. This is on the middle day of these championships, and yeah, it's all about improving times. It's all about probably not get that much of a chance to swim a 1500 metre short course. There's a few events around the country right enough, but it's always good to do something special at the national championships. And at the moment, Alexander Bell is the one who is leading everyone through. Let's have a look at his time, 2:02.04. So that's around about 61 and a half.
62 and a half, I think.
62 and a half.
Yeah. 59.53 is 100 split. 2:02.04 is 200 split. So going very nicely. He has swum this a number of times. Third in the West District Championship. That was long course. Swam this last year. Actually did a 16:44 here last year against his 17:10 entry time. So he'll be hoping certainly to be well inside 17:10. 31 and a half there for that 50, so still around that sort of 63-ish territory for his hundreds. And the lead now, what, about 10 meters, so really taking this one out compared with the rest of the field. Lane 6, Michael O'Neill in second place, so 3:05.47, so that was about a 63.4 for his third 100. So spacing dropping a little bit, so 62.5, 63.4 his second and third 100. So you want to try and hit a steady pace as we goes here. Certainly won't want that pace to just steadily drop.
I suppose if he's done that 16:44 last year, maybe that'll be what he is targeting. And certainly it looks like he has, you know, a firm lead over the rest of the field. We're probably pacing maybe more like the entry times for this particular heat in the low 17 minutes. 16:44, if he did that would have been his entry time. We would have been in heat number 3, so maybe that's the kind of pace that we're looking at here for Alexander Bell. 4:10.75.
So his pace is falling back again. That was a 65 and a bit. So although he still has a big lead and will not really any way of being threatened, so that's a lonely old business out there in the front, him against the clock. He'll be very conscious that he is out there on his own. So let's just check on this 50 split. 33.3, so we're now into 66 territory. And let's just check the guys behind him. What pacing are they at? Well, we're not going to see that, so that's a shame, because it'd be interesting to know whether that lead is continuing to increase. It looks like it is. So I certainly said a while ago it was 10 meters. It's certainly a lot more than that now. We're coming up to what, 17 meters maybe of a lead, so not quite a full length, but getting that way. Although I think coming out the turn that might be shrinking, and certainly that pace is continuing to fall away. So he really needs to find something where he can find a pace and hold it. You don't want to see this continuing degradation of his speed. That would not be what he wants to see. Well, it certainly won't be what he's planned in this event. Well, planned that fast start, I'm sure. That was deliberate, clearly. So let's see what his split is here. 34.4. So maybe that sort of pace is going to be what he's going to hit, the sort of 68, 69s. And you see they well, they're about that 10 seconds. I think that timer goes off after 10 seconds, so that's about the gap. Good contest going on for second there. Lane 6, Michael O'Neill, and beside him Owen Brown. So two 15-year-olds, Stockton against Newcastle, and up there with them also the Geary swimmer, Ines Geary, of course, based in Inverurie in Aberdeenshire.
He's around about 68 there as well for that previous 100. So we're looking at 68s now. Been able to hold on to that. But, yeah, still firm lead here. Just see if we can keep an eye. We don't even have the venue clock isn't working either. So can't even bring you the split times from the venue clock. At 33.94. So just check the.
So that's good, because that's basically 34. So that's holding that 68. So if he can settle onto that pace, then I think that will be a job well done. So this will be 700 next time it comes up to the start end. So we're looking, if there's 108 with 7:34, and we're there about 7:34.29. So yeah, nicely done. If we can now hold that pace. How's your maths, Paul? If we got 800 to go, if we can do 108s.
800 at 108s, right? Okay.
So that's what, 9:04? Is that right? I think so. So that would be 16:40-ish. So he's on line with that 16:44. But it does mean he's got to hold those 68s to do that. And another 34, so it is looking, yeah, I think he's holding that.
And the others are around about 12 seconds behind, so they're pretty much on the 17-minute mark, you would say, that chasing group.
Yeah, so that last turn was halfway. So into the second half now and coming up to the 800. So we're looking for something around the 8:42, 8:43 mark here. And 8:43.09. It's just dropping it a little bit, 34.6. So I'm not talking a huge amount. And still around a 10-second lead. Still that good contest going on for second there. 3 of them in a line. So what will they be thinking at the moment? They will sort of be very conscious of each other and wanting maybe just to test each other out with little spurts.
Yeah, they're pacing each other pretty well, this chasing group of 3. Ines Gow in 7, Michael O'Neill in 6, and Owen Brown in those yellow marked lanes in 5. And there's not much in it at all between that chasing group. Still out in front, Alexander Bell in lane number 3. Just wonder if things are closing up very slightly, Duncan, I don't know. Difficult to tell. We'll just check at the bottom here as he comes through.
I have to say that Alexander's looking a little weary now. 9:52.29, so that pace has dropped to a 69 that time. And you see there 34.79 for that last split.
We're nearly getting the splits now, so he must be closing. As you said, they go off 10 seconds. I think it was almost exactly 10 seconds. It just flashed up there and disappeared. So yeah, that chasing group is closing, and they're going to be at the 2/3 mark. I think that's a 1,000 meter mark coming up as he well, this is 9:50. He'll reach the 1,000 the next time he comes down to this bottom end. We'll just see if we get the splits here as he close. Owen Brown,
Saw a 33.8 there for second place, so Owen Brown is definitely about a second for every 50 faster at the moment than Alexander Bell. But, well, that's possible to catch that up then, but it's a big ask. But, they definitely are gradually closing. So 11:01, that's 1,000 meters complete. So again, just over the 109. So 5 109s, 5:45, 16. So we're now there or thereabouts on that 16:44, maybe slightly slower. But of course, you'd expect them to have a bit of a sprint at the end. So assuming that is still in the tank, but it's going to be thereabouts.
The 3 in the chasing group certainly on for good times here, certainly on for under the 17-minute mark. As you can see, there we go, it's 7.5 seconds I think was the gap between first and second.
So, so we know it was well over 10 seconds earlier on, so they are eating into this lead, and the fact that there's 3 of them at it will push them on. So this race is not over. It looks like there's still a big lead for Alexander Bell. So he goes through 12:10 at the 1100 mark. 34.5. You can see there 33.9s for the 3 behind him. So that was 6/10 taken out. That's probably not enough. 6/10 on a 50. So they've got how many 50s to go? 8.
Yeah.
So that would be 4 seconds taken off. So they need more than that if they are to get back.
They are closing. Not sure they'll be aware of Alexander Bell out in front there, how close they are coming to him. Maybe just a couple of lengths across there from Owen Brown in lane number 5. Michael O'Neill still in the middle of those 3. These 3 are going to be delighted with their times if they can keep this pace going for the next few hundred meters. because they're all going to be under that 17-minute mark. So Owen Brown just going over in second, Michael O'Neill in at third position, Innes Gow in fourth, and they are closing on Alexander Bell, but Bell probably going to have the advantage here, and at 1200 it looks like he might just be able to hold on to that, but I don't think it's over yet, Duncan.
Yeah, back to the 69s. So he is holding his pace at the moment. So if there is to be a comeback, it means that these guys behind them really have to pick up their pace, because now they've just got 275 meters to go. And the gap is down under 10 meters now. So let's see as we come up. 13:53.76, a 34.1 there. Well, these guys going at 33.7, but the others pretty much on par with Alexander, so they're not really making up any time in that last 50 anyway. So Alexander perhaps has got something left in the tank here just to push it on in the last 200 or so meters. He certainly would be gutted if he was to give up this lead, but I suspect that's not going to happen. So he's 200 to go. He's back under 34, so that's good for him. 14:27.51. So now the three of them pacing similar. Just finding it tough now in lane 6 is Michael O'Neill. So the other two now just have slipped away from him a bit. So it does look like it's now a two-way affair for second place. 150 to go now, just over the 15 minutes. Another 34.0, so Alexander has found some pace, but let's have 33.2 for Innes. So he is 5 seconds back now. Remember, it was well over 10 at one point, but there's not that many lengths to go now, just the 3. Well, that's not correct. 5 to go. You see those 5s on the lap cards. So 100 meters to go now at this turn. And going through it in 15:36. It's just dropping a little bit to 34.5, and a second taken out of the lead by Innes now. He is the one who is making the move. Can he get there? He's certainly going at it aggressively here. I imagine he will be able to see the leader just as he goes through that turn, if he can look across. But with just 50 meters to go, it's a mountain to climb here, but it's under 5 meters the gap. 16:10.79 against 16:13, so 3 seconds the gap, and he's only making up about a second every 50, so somehow he's got to treble that in this last 50. I don't think that's going to happen. It is going to be a hard-fought race from our leader, but Alexander Bell is going to bring this home. This is a terrific performance from Innes Gow to really run him close at the end, but it will be Alexander coming in, and he comes in inside that 16:44 we were talking about earlier, 16:42.62. So nicely done, Alexander. Really attacked that at the beginning, and then managed to find a time around that 68.69s through that crucial middle stage. Innes Gow 16:45, Owen Brown 16:47, Michael O'Neill 16:50, Keir Stormont also getting under the 70 minutes. They're all going to be very happy with their swims. So excellent stuff there in our first heat. And yeah, very good. Very good indeed. Alexander Bell then at 16:42.62. We've got some sort of a score, but it's looking a little ropey in the in the venue, but they're giving their best to try and find some information for the crowd who are here. We are privileged because our time's coming through beautifully, so touch wood.
Indeed.
2 more heats.
Yeah. So a great first heat there, big improvements on the entry times, and looking like similar sort of times. So this one, all the swimmers just one under the 17-minute mark in terms of entry time. That's Connor Stewart, who goes in lane 4 for Stirling Swim. All the rest in the low 17-minute mark. So just keep an eye on how they compare to the time from the previous heat. So we'll see if anyone in that heat can go under the 17-minute mark. And we saw 5 go under it in that first heat. So great swimming from that heat. The lineup for this one: Nikolai Sisnet from City of Glasgow goes in lane number 1. One of the 3 14-year-olds in this one. Aaron Drake from Warren de Bass goes in lane number 2. Kai Connolly from South Lanarkshire in 3. In 4 is Connor Stewart from Stirling Swim. Connor leads them through just over the 1 minute mark, 1 minute .02. Harry Whitfield from Darlington, second of the 14-year-olds, goes in lane 5. Hayden Stirling from St Thomas goes in lane number 6. The youngest in the field is Archie Maguire, 13 years of age, from City of Sunderland. And the third of the 14-year-olds is Aidan Anderson, closest to us, the University of Aberdeen performance swimmer, goes in lane number 8. So middle lanes out ahead, both these swimmers. Connor Stewart 16:59 entry time, and Harry Whitfield 17 minutes .31. So it'd be excellent to see them dip under that 17-minute mark as we saw in that previous heat.
Yep, quite a recent time from Connor Stewart. Did it at West Districts in Dumfries a month or so ago. 16:59. He won that event, so
that's a nice one to do, isn't it? 16:59. Yeah. Sounds so much better than 17:00, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and particularly when you get a gold medal on the back of it as well. So that always helps. So going nicely here, 32.3, I think that was that last 50. So, and he's opening up a handy lead here, looking pretty strong at this stage. Of course, we saw that very fast start from Alexander Bell, and he went through 200 in 2:02. So this is not quite as fast as that, 2:03 and change. But Connor Stewart there, in fact, they're at 2:50, 2:36.1. He's got a lead of 4 seconds now over the second place contest. That's lane 5 and lane 8, all fairly close there. That's Harry Whitfield and Aidan Anderson.
Yeah, coming down now to the 300. Just check the pace, 3:08.90. So Connor Stewart again about the 65 mark, and again it's slightly slower than we saw in the first heat for Alexander Bell, but he kind of slipped back into a 68, 69 rhythm in the centre of the 1500. So if we can have a continuation of this 65, 66, then that kind of advantage that the first heat had is quite going to be eroded quite quickly by Connor Stewart. Aidan Anderson going well, closest to us, right in the near lane. He's in second position, and lane number 5 is Harry Whitfield from Darlington. So a couple of 14-year-olds in the top 3, but no doubt about who is leading them through. It's Connor Stewart from Stirling Swim. Let's have a check at the 400 metre mark, 4:14.66. So again, still in the 105 range, Duncan.
Yep. So going nicely. It's about 4 seconds still back on Alexander Bell's time, but I don't think be too worried about that. Aidan Anderson still going very nicely. Entry time for him, 17:06. Member of the Scottish Youth Academy, did his time up in Fraserburgh, winning the North District distance meet that's held there in the autumn. So that's another fairly recent time. Is national age group silver medalist in this event last April. So one of the top distance swimmers in his age group in Scotland. And he's on his own now, and a nice three-way battle going on for third at the moment. Nikolai Sisnet, another youngster, another 14-year-old, maybe just edging that one. Oh no, in fact, I think maybe just ahead of him in lane 5 was Harry Whitfield, but at the front, 5:20.88. So about 2.8 back on Alexander Bell's time. So they are starting to whittle away. That was about a 66 though, so the pace has dropped a little bit as well for Connor.
Yeah, Aidan Anderson slightly faster than Connor in that last 50 there, around about half a second or so. So he was closing up very slightly, but still Connor Stewart very much in control of this one.
So keep an eye on that, 33.2. Let's see what Aidan split is then. 34.1, so I think that was maybe a blip in that last 50. You do get that sometimes. Maybe as people just perhaps adjust their stroke a little bit and just lose a little bit of momentum, and then they get it back again.
Yeah, he's certainly looking quite comfortable at the front of the field. We'll just have a check of this split time. Going to be back on, not quite on par with the previous heat, but certainly closing the gap all the time. 6:27.26, so that's what, 65, 66 again, 66 and a half, I think.
Yep, thereabouts.
So
he is definitely pacing faster now at this stage than Alexander Bell was, and you'd expect him to be there or thereabouts when they get to 700. So Alexander was a 7:34 at 700, and expect Connor to be, well, you can see there, if you do the maths, 700 plus 33.48 would bring him in at a 7:34. So let's see if he can do that. He's continuing to build his lead. It's about 10 meters now over Aidan. On his own now in third, up at the top, Nikolai Cisnet. So he's broken clear of the other swimmers, with Aaron Drake now in fourth place ahead of Harry Whitfield, and also Archie Maguire, the 13-year-old, in lane 7. So 7:33.92, so that now is faster, a little bit faster than Alexander Bell's split, about 3/10 faster. So I'd expect that to start to widen now, assuming, of course, that Connor can hold this pace, which he's doing very well, it has to be said, a 66.5 or thereabouts. He's been on that sort of pace now for a while. And that's what you want to do, isn't it? Just find that metronomic pace. And I guess as the race goes on, I'm always told for coaches that you have to think you're going faster, because as your body tires, it plays tricks on you, and you think you're holding your pace when you're not. So if you think you're going faster, the chances are you're holding your pace, if that makes sense.
Well, that's just at the halfway stage. Again, different tactics will be employed by the swimmers here. Some of them, you know, when they hit the halfway point, begin to try to put a little bit more effort in, as you said, to try and maintain that speed. Some of them will do it in 500s. So you might find people trying to make a move when they hit the 1,000-meter mark. But at the moment, Connor Stewart doing an excellent job here. 8:40 at that previous heat, and he's still holding round about that 66 mark. 8:40.68, just in the mid 66s. And that's good enough to keep him ahead of the chasers. Nikolai Cisnet now, is he moving into second place? He might well be at this turn. 2 end lanes. Cisnet just in second place, but you'll see there the lead increasing. Duncan, we're not getting the split times from the others anymore.
Yeah, so that 10-second margin is kicking in again, as we saw in the first heat. So, but this time, I think it's probably we're done with the splits from the swimmers behind Connor, because he is continuing to build. Although we'll keep an eye on Nikolai, because he's obviously feeling strong here up in lane 1, just coming away from that banner, and you can see he's now moved ahead of his fellow 14-year-old. So 2 14-year-olds either side. Nikolai Cisnet was the winner in National Age Group Championships, and Aidan Anderson was second. So that was, of course, long course up in Aberdeen last April. So Nikolai has beaten Aidan before, and it looks like he's got the edge on him now in those two outside lanes. It's a shame they're not swimming together in a way, but that's the way it goes. So 10, 20, 55 there at the 9:50.
Yeah, we saw the other three. I think they were alongside each other in that previous heat. I think that helped them along to get some decent times. All in the 16-minute mark, all in the 16, under the 17-minute mark. So number of swimmers were able to do that. There's not that many that are side by side here. And Connor Stewart going over there, 10:53.78. Again, pretty consistent, Duncan, in the 106 mid.
Yeah, very consistent. I would say that 33.2, so right on the money for those mid 66s. So 500 to go. He's now about 8 seconds faster than Alexander Bell was. So we are looking, I think, at a very good time for Connor. He's showing absolutely no signs that he is going to drop the pace. 33.5. Well, having said that, that's more like 67 rather than 66.5. So, well, we'll just keep an eye on that. I hope I didn't give a commentator curse on him there.
It's funny, we were talking about the green markings and the red markings, where if you go faster in a 50, it's green. If you go slower, it's red. If you equal it, it's orange, and with two have equaled it in that previous 50. You don't often see that, but that's how consistent these 1500 swimmers are. Trying to keep that pace going. So 12:00.50 for Connor Stewart. Again, is 60s, high 66s that time. So
well, that was a low 33 on that last 50 though. So after maybe slightly slower 50, he's picked it up in that last 50. So let's see. So we're looking again, can we get to that sort of low 33s here? Yes, we can, 33.3. So he's still very much holding that pace pretty consistently. Start to do the maths on this one, and if he can hold 106s, we're talking about what, under 16:30.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a great time. Nikolai Cisnet is, well, around about 11.5 seconds behind the leader. He's clear in second place. Aidan Anderson a couple of seconds behind Nikolai Cisnet. Connor Stewart going over 13:07.15 again. Very consistent indeed for Connor Stewart at the front of the field. Nikolai Cisnet going over in 13:19.06, and Aidan Anderson 13:21.85. So the lead almost 12 seconds for Connor Stewart. That's why we're not getting the splits of the other two. Coming up 13:40, again 33.5. Continuing to hold that pace. Let's hope he can dip under that 16:30, Duncan. That would be an excellent swim from Connor Stewart. Yeah,
it would be. I think he probably could do that. Just keeping an eye on Nikolai Cisnet versus Aidan Anderson. Aidan just out of your camera shot at the moment. Yeah, he's coming in. So, I mean, he's what, about 5 meters back on Nikolai, so he's putting in a good effort as well. So the two 14-year-olds, I think, by the time this is done, are going to be pretty happy with their efforts. 14:49, 200 to go. So just slightly slipped there. 67 for that last 100. So difficult to just hold that concentration, keep that pace going over 16 plus minutes of swimming. And that's what they've got to do. That's what they'll have trained for. Let's see what his split is here. 33.7. So that pace has just dropped a bit. Here comes Nikolai up at the top. You can just see him coming up to the turn. And, well, on the other side, Aidan Anderson is not that far behind him. So he's continuing as well to go very nicely. Then you can see Nikolai up at the top. Don't worry about the others. They've been lapped You should see Aidan just coming in now to your screen. So I think Nikolai probably is just building that lead a bit. At 100 to go now for our leader. 15:21. So surely he's going to go under 16:30 with that split with 100 to go. And you expect him, if he has got something left, well, he may not start to hit it in this 50, but he certainly will in the final 50. So this has been really strong stuff from the Sterling man. He's very much now in control of his own destiny as he hears the bell and goes through in 15:55. So can he now just pick up the pace? There's Nikolai coming to get the bell up at the top of the screen. So he's going to be around, what, 16:07. And I think Aidan probably around 16:10. So final turn then for our leader, Connor Stewart, coming down. He's got swimmers around him who have been lapped. So he is coming in. Those legs are going like fury now. Look at that, upping the pace brilliantly. 16:25.38. Finishes on a 30.2. So brilliant stuff. Massive PB. Entered, reminder of that, 16:59, and that was a recent time, remember, done at West District, so that's a 34-second improvement. Nikolai Cisnet, 16:40, big improvement for him, 25 seconds. Aidan Anderson, 16:45 from a 17:06, a 21-second improvement. Aaron Duke, 16:53, also gets under the 17, entered 17:03. So that's a 10-second improvement. Harry Whitfield, 16:57. So Harry was entered 17:00. So he improves as well. Archie Maguire takes 17:05 down to 17:01. So 6 of the 8 swimmers inside their entry times, as we see our final swimmer, Kai Connolly, coming in lane 3.
Yeah, good swim there at the front of the field. He led all the way. Connor Stewart never really in doubt who was going to win that one from a very early point in that race. 16:25.38 for Connor Stewart. Massive improvement. Nikolai Cisnet, Aidan Anderson, Aaron Drake, Harry Whitfield, Archie Maguire, also some excellent times there. So it's what we like to see. Improvements on those entry times, and number of swimmers breaking that 17-minute barrier. Excellent swims. Final of the 1500 metres heats that we will see in this afternoon session. The final action of this session, in fact, and the lineup there: Connor Aspinall from East Lothian in lane number 1, Callum Sinclair from West Lothian in lane 2, Matthew Sawyers from Wigan in 3, John Taylor, University of Aberdeen Performance in 4, Aidan Bruce from Aberdeen in 5, Ewan Jones from University of Stirling in 6, Toby Bullock from Midlothian in 7, and Taylor Sinclair for Elgin in lane number 8. So bit of a Lothian tussle right at the top of the picture there. East Lothian and West Lothian.
Yeah, and you also got Mid Lothian in the picture there, lane 7, Toby Bullock. So the 3 Lothians having a good old battle here early on. Who's going to get the touch at the 100? I think it might be Toby. Oh no, it's not. Yes, it is. 59.21, up by 2/10 from Connor and Callum. So advantage Mid Lothian. So 59.21 is the fastest 100 split we've seen. Toby was the junior champion yesterday in the 800, so he'll be looking, if he could do a double 8 and 15 junior champion, he'd be very happy with that. Just looking at the lineup, there is another junior who will go in the fastest seat. That'll be Oscar Churnside of Geary, so we won't know whether he's a junior champion at the end of this race, assuming he wins it, of course, which is by no means a given. Callum Sinclair not a junior, Connor Aspinall is. So they are the 3 front runners. Not far away, Taylor Sinclair, 17-year-old, so not a junior, in lane 8. The Elgin swimmer. But it's Toby and Callum, followed by Connor and Taylor coming up to the 200. Who's going to get the touch this time? It's Callum Sinclair, 2:03.88. So
strange how they've all split up there, isn't it? The middle four kind of been left having their own private battles. The outside lanes just stretch away in the early stages. This is gearing up though for another decent time. We're just about on a par with the previous heat, so again, if they can continue that pace, we're looking for times well under the 17-minute mark. Everyone entered under the 17-minute mark, but 16:25, an excellent swim from that previous heat, and that'll be the target, the immediate target for those swimmers here in this field. But a long way to go. There's the lane markers, 49 lengths to go. My goodness.
So remember, we're very steady with Connor and sort of 106s, so that is 33 low for the 50 split. So let's check on that. So you can see this is faster. They're all in the 32s. Callum Sinclair continuing to lead the way, 3:08.39. So if they can hold this sub 33 pacing for their 50s, they will be faster than Connor. And if they can keep this competitive, maybe Connor Espinal just finding it a little difficult to stay with the other two as we come up to the 350 now. So Callum Sinclair in the white cap and Toby Bullock in the green, 3:41 and 3:42. Connor's still there, but his pacing has dropped into the 33s, but still 32.6s for the other two. So they will be looking to try and pull away from Connor Aspinall if they can, as we come down now towards 400 metres. I suppose we'll see each other a little bit, I think, really have focusing on their own swims. And Callum Sinclair has got himself just over a second and a half an advantage now, 4:13.82. He leads the way. Callum Sinclair, as we said, West Lothian swimmer, fourth in the Long Course National Championships. It was a fairly weak entry, it has to be said, in that event here in the summer. Fifth in national age groups is probably a more realistic view of his abilities. But entry time 16:43 that he'll be looking to improve on. And certainly on this sort of pacing, he will improve on it, but if he can keep this going, of course not even at 1/3 distance yet, but he is gradually getting away from Toby now. Connor Aspinall hanging in there in third place, but the gaps between these leading three starting to spread. As Callum Sinclair now coming up to 1/3 distance, 5:19.02, so another in the 32s, 32.8. You see faster than both the others, 4/10 faster than Toby and over a second faster than Connor. Best of the rest in lane 4, John Taylor leading that four-way contest, which is still alive and well. Call it five-way actually, because Taylor Sinclair is involved in that mix as well in lane 8. So that's the other five behind the leading trio. Callum's time is just slipping a little bit. They're closer to 33 than we've seen before, but now almost exactly 3 seconds up on Toby Bullock, but a long way to go yet. So it's all about maintaining this nice consistent rhythm at this stage in the middle phase of the race. Nothing really gets decided here. You can lose it, you can't win it at this stage. So 32.7, so back closer to the mid 32s, so again about 7/10 faster than Toby. So going well.
Yeah, 600 gone. That's a bit of an advantage opening up now for Callum Sinclair. We're just looking at the splits for everyone. Yeah, Callum Sinclair, that previous 50 was 32.73. It's 32.74 this time, so very, very consistent. But as you can see, Toby Bullock 33.4 and 33.8 for Conor Aspinall. That's why everything's getting a little bit stretched out. There's no one really in the pool that is closing the gap to Callum Sinclair. Everyone going slower than the leader up there in lane number 2 as they come down to the 700 metre mark. Let's see what kind of time we are going to get here. 7:30.40. So that is, well, 33 point, that's just 65, high 65s there, so he's going along very nicely indeed. We'll be at a halfway point when they reach the bottom end. Probably talking about highly challenging 16:20 here if you can keep this one going, Duncan.
Well, let's hope so. Yes, West Lothian swimmer is pushing it out very nicely. 16:45, a reminder, his entry time, and certainly now has, what's that, about 7-8 meters of advantage. Still a race on for second. Conor Aspinall is staying reasonably close to Toby Bullock, and we're starting to see Ewan Jones moving up in lane 6, so he's not that far behind Conor Aspinall now. He's certainly made some ground on him, so we'll keep an eye on their pacing relative to each other next time they get down to the start end. 32.7 there, Callum's split there. 800 metres, 8:35.52, so just over 65 for that one, so going nicely still. 800 done, 700 to go. I don't think we're going to see the splits for the ones I wanted to see, so we just need to keep an eye on them as they go through, and there's not a lot to choose between them now as they go through that turn.
Yeah, I can see Toby Bullock 33.1 for that one, Conor Aspinall 33.8, so it is stretching very slightly.
And what was Ewan Jones? 33.2, so he is picking up on Conor Aspinall.
Yep. Pretty much of a muchness. Well, Conor Aspinall maybe about half a second shy of Ewan Jones at the minute as they move down towards the 900 mark. The leader 9:41.12. So still continuing that pace. 105.5. He's now well ahead of the pace that we saw in that previous heat, and that was a 16:25. So as I said, somewhere in under the 16:20 marks, not beyond the realms of possibility here. That'll be an excellent improvement from Callum Sinclair. 16:45 entry time. What an improvement that would be.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll have been working hard for this one. See, 32.9, but Toby Bullock is picking up the pace there. That was a 33.2. I think that's the fastest we've seen from him for a while. It's now neck and neck pretty much for third. Conor Aspinall and Ewan Jones. Has Ewan Jones just gone past him? I think he might have done. Let's just see. We're going to see them go through their turns. Yes, it is Ewan Jones definitely going into that turn ahead of Conor Aspinall. 10:46.76 at the 1,000 metres. So now, what's that, 7 seconds faster than Conor Stewart's split.
Yeah, Toby Bullock now still in second, but he is just losing a little bit of ground to Callum Sinclair on every 50. Clear in second place, still going to be a superb swim. Callum Sinclair going through there in 11:19. Let's just have a look at the gap. 11:28, so around about 9 seconds or so is the gap between the leading two. Callum Sinclair swum this very well so far, be coming down to the 1100 mark as he gets down to the bottom end. It's 10:46 at the 1,000 metre mark. and he is 11:52.26. So just on the 105.5, as he has been pretty much the whole way through from about the 300 mark. So very, very consistent swimming here from the leader, Callum Sinclair. It is Toby Bullock still in second. It's only about 9 seconds behind. Ewan Jones about 7 seconds behind Toby Bullock, but Bullock is continuing to increase that gap between him and Ewan Jones, now in third spot.
So I'm thinking maybe 16:10 or just over for Callum Sinclair if he can hold this pace. So it's certainly looking very strong. Of course, reminder, he's not a junior, Toby Bullock is. So Toby will set the standard for the one junior to come in the final heat tonight. He'll be in his bid to pick up another junior medal. So we'll see what that target time is going to be for Oscar Churnside in the final heat. But meanwhile, 12:58.22, 300 to go. Another pretty much on the dot of 66 for that 100 there.
Yeah, he's going to be under the 16:20, isn't he, with 300 to go.
Getting very interesting for third now, because you can see that white cap in lane 4, and that's John Taylor, has moved past both Conor Aspinall and Ewan Jones. Very experienced distance swimmer, John. So no surprise perhaps that he knows how to manage his pacing and has just moved into third. You can see they're just ahead of Ewan Jones, with Conor Aspinall and others also very close now, Matthew Soares and Aidan Bruce. So there's a good old scrap going on there for third place behind our two leaders. But they don't need to worry about that. They just need to worry about their times. And with 200 to go, it's 14:03.99 for Callum Sinclair. So under the 66 that time. So he is just gradually starting to wind it up now. Toby's still looking pretty comfortable there in second place. He's certainly well clear of this scrap for third, but about 10 metres clear of that. And he's going nicely, still holding a nice rhythm, not showing signs of tiredness. And Callum's certainly not. He is picking up his pace. Well, I've said that, not that time. 33.5 there, but that's got, we are seeing some leg action going on there now in lane 2, and he'll be looking next turn, 1400, 100 to go. He'll have a strategy for how he wants to finish this race. When does he release the hounds? So 100 to go, 15:10.51, so about a 66.5 that time.
Yeah, another great swim. We've seen 3 heats of the 1500, and I think every one of them has seen superb swims at the front of the field. I wonder if anyone else is going to be under their entry times. Entry times here, 16:39 was John Taylor, ranging down to Taylor Sinclair at 16:59. But the bell for the leader, Callum Sinclair, 15:43, so 32.67. It's going to be, well, 16:15-ish, 16:14 maybe. See how much energy he has left in this final stages. Callum Sinclair led pretty much from the start. It was a Lothian tussle in the early stages. Callum Sinclair made sure that West Lothian are going to come out on top. Here they come. 16:15.11, and what an excellent time that was. His entry time was 16:45, so just a 30-second improvement, so that's not too bad at all. Toby Bullock, well, that'll be the target for the junior in that final tonight, 16:25.40. John Taylor finishing really fast to come through into third, closing the gap between him and Toby Bullock, 16:31. and Aidan Bruce 16:36, Conor Aspinall 16:36, Matthew Sawyer 16:36, Ian Jones 16:37. What a good tussle that was, and all of them, I think, under their entry time.
Yep, they were, and so tight there. Look at that. 3 swimmers on 16:36, one on 16:37 there. 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. But well done, Callum Sinclair's 16:15.11. Toby Bullock setting the standard there.
It was a full house, I think,
juniors.
Duncan. Taylor Sinclair 16:52, also an improvement. So
Excellent,
there you go.
excellent stuff. What a good afternoon, what a good way to finish on some sterling performances there. You see on your screen there that we'll be back for our second night of finals. We'll come on air at 5:25. We hope that you will join us then. Our first race will be just after 5:30. It's going to be another excellent evening. We'll have the fastest heat of that 1500 to start us off with. It's going to be a good one. From me, Duncan McKinnell.
And me, Paul Noble.
We'll wish you a very good afternoon from the Royal Commonwealth Pool.